do I? But I've been off work because it's a half term in the UK. So yeah, I decided to do this one, and also just generally, I wanted to talk about the channel, and because I'm struggling basically to keep up doing a stream every week, and still trying to do the research to do other streams. It's just a struggle. Basically, I've got a presentation to talk about it all. But yeah, so this is really a stream just for my subscribers. So random people clicking on this probably won't find it very interesting. But for people that actually care about the channel and who like coming to my streams and that, trying to talk about how I'm going to go. Yeah. Yeah, of course, it does feel like something weird is going on, doesn't it? Like something's fucking happening. It does, yeah, definitely. It's like, yeah, but I've been joining groups to try and find other small YouTubers to network with and all that sort of thing. Yeah, if you subscribed, hope you've all subscribed, everyone that's here. Yeah, and other YouTubers to sort of network with and that, to sort of share audiences with. But it's hard to find people because I'm in like a weird niche, really, aren't I? Because I talk about quite a specific true crime case as well, and just the other stuff. Like no one seems to be talking about this anymore. There doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in the CIA stuff and that, And so it is really just I really need to concentrate on building a community and getting more people to actually show up to my live streams as well, because the amount of people that turn up, I don't promote enough. But yeah, I'll get on with the presentation anyway, so we can just talk. Yeah, I was watching podcast last night. Yeah. Yes. No, we're on the wrong bloody slide. Not a good start. Right, that's it. Yeah, well, it's not about monetization, because when people do a stream like this, everyone immediately thinks it's about money. It's not. To be eligible for monetization, channels need more than just 1,000 subscribers. They also require thousands of hours of watch time and millions of views on shorts. Small channels now have an easier path to offering memberships, which allows creators to earn some income. Members would receive a perk like exclusive emojis and having their name displayed in a different color in the chat for around $1 a month. And I could do additional tiers where I could offer exclusive member-only streams and stuff like that. However, YouTube takes a significant portion of this revenue, and it may take several months to receive the earnings. And if you did want to financially support the channel, consider using the Buy Me a Coffee link, as it takes a smaller percentage and I receive the money more quickly if you wanted. So, but yeah, that's not what I was talking about anyway. That's not what this is about. But yeah, I'm just thinking, because if I wanted to do a YouTube channel that made money, then I wouldn't be talking about this subject. You know what I mean? It's not a huge money spending subject. But yeah, all that can help, how you can actually help, is just by watching, liking, commenting, and sharing my old videos. Really helps, because I've made these playlists to make this easier. So look at the Rolling Stones one and the May Brussels CIA LSD one at the moment, because YouTube want you to upload more regularly. So after about 3 days, they throttle the views on videos to encourage you to upload, or in my case, stream more. And because I'm the only person running this channel, I don't have time to do more than one stream a week. If I had others helping make the slides, maybe I could do more than one a week. But basically, yeah, that's the biggest thing you can do, because like views, the videos, ironically, videos that get a lot of views consistently get views because people are watching them. And so the videos that didn't get a lot of views in the first 3 days, that's it, they just die. So I need people to watch those and interact with them to hopefully like revive them, basically. And yeah, the other thing about if you are can you use Canva, because there's ways you can help me making slides if you have a Canva account and know how to use the platform, and it's pretty easy, as it generates the templates for you that are the right size for the YouTube thumbnails and all that. And I sometimes need help with research as well, and you can join my Facebook group if you're interested, or comment in the comments if you're watching this on playback. But these are the kind of things that I need. Yeah, that's it. I've got a job. This isn't my job, you know what I mean? This is a hobby to me, but I want to make it better. I want to have a bigger community, and because that's the point of it. This is why I do it as live streams. I could just edit videos, but I don't. I do live streams because I like to interact with people as we talk, about these things. And that's all a big part of it. And also, I wanted to ask. I've done a poll on my community tab as well. Everyone do the poll if you haven't about Reddit, because I could start a subreddit as well. Capone, I wanted to ask you: do you use Reddit? Because you don't use Facebook, do you? If you use Reddit, then that's another social networking platform we could use, isn't it? Because there's subreddits are actually they're quite good. It works kind of like an old school forum. Like you start a post and people have to click it to open it to see all the comments on it and that. You do use Reddit, yeah. So if I start a True Crime and Moonshine subreddit, that's something we could do. Because ironically, all the people that say they use Reddit are in my Facebook group already. So they're the people that are already on Facebook. But yeah, because that's a good thing for people that don't use Facebook, isn't it? And Reddit is good if you're not on Reddit. Like there is a good Manson subreddit that I found recently. Today, actually, I think, or yesterday, that's inspired by the Chaos, Charles Manson, the book Chaos. So, like, yeah. And I've seen people fucking copy and pasting stuff from Reddit into Facebook posts in comments, yeah, and presenting it as if it's their words. I won't say who, but... So yeah, keep an eye on Reddit, because a lot of the Facebook people are just nicking stuff straight off Reddit and posting it and presenting it as if they've found it and they've done it, yeah. Yeah, you don't use Reddit either. So yeah, that's the other thing about the community aspect of it. I don't know what else to do really, because is it worth starting a standalone forum just for this YouTube channel? I don't know. Yeah. You can. Well, there's sending articles to me. If you don't have Facebook or Reddit, emailing. I suppose there is always an email address that comes with the YouTube account. So yeah, I'll have to work out exactly what that is. Oh yes, I forgot to bloody do that. Sorry, Mark. I'll do that now. I meant to do it whilst the timer was going down, but I forgot. Sorry, just giving Mark a spanner. That makes him a mod, in case people don't know what that means, because if you never tuned into a live show. That's what the people with the spanners in the chat are. They have the power to ban you. Right, I have to open it. And mute it. We might get weird feedback. Wait a second. Oh no. Open it. That's it. Wait a second, we've got to mute it. When the bloody thing loads. That's it, right, I've muted it. Right, now where's Mark? That's it. Now I've got to... There you go. Glasgow Dave. Not Glasgow Dave, sorry. Fucking Mark Oliver. You're now a moderator. You should be, Right, now I can close the stream. Sorry, back to normal. I'll edit that out. When that's on playback, yeah. I said I'd make Mark Oliver a moderator. Yeah, but... Yeah, don't worry if you can't. Like I say, just watching the videos is a great help. That's the biggest thing that most people can do. Like if you don't want to use help that much, you don't have to. I'm not obliging anyone to, but people that, because some people enjoy it as well. They like doing research and it's not like very difficult using Canva. You can knock things together quite fast. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Don't go putting everyone in timeout now. Don't go crazy with the power, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I could do a subreddit because there was a few people in my Facebook group who said they have Reddit. So yeah, it might be better because Facebook groups are kind of crappy for sharing stuff because posts get lost so easily. I think Reddit's better for that. And yeah, and like I say, there's other Reddits as well, isn't there? There's other things to read about. So people that haven't joined Reddit, it is worth joining Reddit because any subject that you're interested in, there's a Reddit about it, isn't there? That's it. Son of Sam. Well, no. Well, there's already Manny, isn't there, who covers Son of Sam, and he's done that way better. Because again, that's a complex case that's had a lot of bullshit written about it, and the actual truth of what that David Berkowitz mate he really did, and also he liked messing with people's heads when he was in prison. He told Mary Terry a load of shit, didn't he? And made out that there was a fucking cult and all that. When really he also admitted that he made up that shit just to make himself look insane, thinking that he'd get off on insanity. So yeah. So Son of Sam, yeah, that's a whole other thing. You can't just, it's like the Charles Manson case almost, isn't it? And this, yeah, Manny Grossman has done his channel on it, but he doesn't just debunk Mary Terry as well. He's actually, I've seen him doing streams where he's actually showing the case files of the people that died, and so he's actually talking about the truth of what happened. And so yeah, well, to debunk Mary Terry, he's showing the truth, isn't he? Yeah, so it's actually really good stuff he's doing. So yeah, and I mean, like I say, there's other channels talking about the Manson stuff as well. I wanted to, be another voice talking about that case, because it is getting bigger all the time, and the book Chaos really revived a lot of interest in it. But now there's like chaos cultists in there that totally just believe chaos and nothing else, and think you're some kind of arsehole if you don't believe everything that he said in Chaos. But actually, it's quite easy to poke holes in it, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. Mary Terry, a lot of it just sounds like he was making it up as he went along. And he says, like anonymous sources, that he had anonymous FBI agent sources and stuff like that. And it's like, fucking right, you did. You know what I mean? Yeah, he just made it up. Because in that book, Mary Terry's book as well, there's a whole bit about Charles Manson, isn't there? And Nicholas has already done a stream with him that debunking the Charles Manson stuff. Because he proposes that there was more than one Charles Manson, doesn't he? And all that sort of shit, yeah. So yeah, there's other people that have already done it. So like, I don't need to do it, because I thought about that. I thought about analysing what he says about the Manson case. But yeah, there's a channel that's gone in depth, and because yeah, he was formerly a believer of him, wasn't he? Basically, yeah. If you look into his motivation for doing it, he was a Mary Terry fan, and then he actually got hold of some real documents and realised that he was full of shit, and has made it his life's work to debunk him now. That was what Mary Terry lied. I know there was something about that, though, wasn't there? He said he wrote diaries. He wrote diaries where he said that he thought the dogs in the neighbourhood were possessed by the devil or something. They were devil dogs, and he went out and he murdered some Alsatians, and he did that quite a long time before he started killing people. And he admitted later that he was going to try and use that to establish that he was insane. Like these diaries and the fact that these dogs got killed in his neighbourhood. They'd say, yeah. So there is something about that. Yeah, I was watching it last night. I was kind of, I was listening to Dennis at the end, obviously, and like I say, and Paul was making the good point as well. Like, yeah, but where's the proof for this? How do you know this? You know what I mean? All the stuff about Rosdell and Massaro and that's the thing. That's what puts people off, because that is like really hard to prove. There isn't any evidence. But Dennis is talking like he's going to be able to prove it any second now, and he's saying it with very great certainty. And I'm hearing from other people as well. For some reason, people are saying this case is about to get blown wide open for some reason. So God knows what they're hearing and what's going to happen. But yeah, that stuff as well. Like I still take it with a pinch of salt, because like for me, it's the LaBianca stuff. Like I would love it to be true that Tex did know Joe Dawkinson and stuff was going on, but we can't say that because we don't know it, do we? All we can do is speculate about it. It's the same with the. Well, fucking, there was lots of reasons why people would want to kill Joel Rosdell, wasn't there? Basically, he was involved in all sorts of shit. We'll never fucking know the true motive for why they did that. But yeah, I kind of didn't. Oh, I can't even, because yeah, the Dennis bit just distracted me. I can't even remember what they were initially saying about the Greg Jacobson thing. Yeah, but I fucking missed that sort of thing. What Dennis was saying overshadowed it, sort of thing. Yeah, mobster housekeeping. That's it. I feel better now, at least. Anyway, I've been ill all week, but I'm finally feeling better now. Hopefully, I won't get any more colds. Hopefully, I've had all the ones that are going around, and I can't catch any more. Yeah, yeah. Like I say, I haven't really looked into the Son of Sam case because it's something that other small channels cover, and like I don't. I don't think I'll win myself any more viewers by covering that than I do by covering what I cover. But yeah, I definitely want to try and stream more. That's the other point as well. So like, I might do because really the YouTube algorithm wants you to do at least 3 a week or 2 a week. So I could do another midweek stream like this, but maybe do ones where there's less presentations. Like, would people be happy with that? Do people like, because people do seem to like the streams where I just sit and talk randomly about things, and aren't that bothered because people watch them on playback. I can't believe that people watch the random chat streams, but people like it. So yeah, I've had I've been had loads of colds all through the bloody flu season. For some reason, it's been really bad this year, hasn't it? Everyone's had loads of coughs and colds, and I work in a school. I'm a cleaner, so I don't work directly with the children, but obviously I have to clean up after them, so I get all their fucking colds and that. It's horrible. Yeah, see, people do watch them, yeah. Like, I could do more streams like this where there's less form to it, so I'm not actually like saying much, or I'm not giving you a presentation. I'm just sitting here and talking. And I need to stream more often and basically have a better community aspect to this because I don't use the community tab enough. I don't talk enough through that. I don't advertise that I'm going live enough through the community tab because I've just got the Facebook group. And I just notify everyone in the Facebook group, and that's it. But there's not all of my subscribers are in that Facebook group. There's less than 200 people in my Facebook group, so like not everyone is getting all the information. So this is why I want to start a subreddit as well. So give me your feedback in the comments if you're watching this on playback. If I started a subreddit, would you join it? Do you have a Reddit? Yeah, I will start a subreddit just so Capone's got somewhere that he can talk to us. And share articles and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Well, this is a thing. If you look at YouTube, rundown of info and theories from Reddit and all this sort of stuff. Well, I could just do more like streams where it's just random and more casual. Because that frees me up because I don't have to do so much research. Because these streams that I've been doing, they're like, because I'm reading lots of books. I've got to get lots of books read before I can finish. Before I can finally do the stream, you know what I mean, for the subjects that I'm discussing. And every week I have to do a stream. I have to put a presentation together for that, and I have to do some research for that. So it's slowing down the amount of time, that I could be working on other streams. If people would still tune in and would still like that, then I could just do more. Yeah, you would join a subreddit if we had one, yeah. So a few people have. So people would still tune in if there was less structure to the streams for a little while. And like I say, I'll do like the big presentation ones as it comes up. And of course, if anything develops suddenly, if there's any, because you never know what's going to happen with the Manson case. Sometimes like weird shit, like I couldn't believe Leslie got released and all that sort of shit. That happening. And who's up for parole next as well? They're thinking it might be Bruce, aren't they? That might be the next to get released. So it's like, wow. Do an open forum just on live stream where people presenting you follow up on one past subject or whatever. I don't know. Like I say, you can you've just joined it, have you? Yeah, because it is good because I enjoy it. I haven't used it that much, but I wanted to use it to. So I was thinking about starting subreddits and that, and there's karma to your account sort of thing. So you have to like respond to things, and a lot of subreddits you join unless you've got a certain amount of karma you can't post and stuff like that. But if you only need to comment, then it doesn't really matter. But I wouldn't have mine set up, so you have to have a load of karma to post and that, because just in case people are setting up a Reddit account just to join my subreddit. But like I say, the other subreddits are interesting. There's true crime subreddits, and Manson stuff, like that fake picture of Rosina, the one that isn't Rosina, that came from a Reddit post. That's where everyone was finding that picture, and that had just been posted on Reddit, and someone said, "This is Rosina, Tex Watson's girlfriend," and everyone had just taken that as the truth and had been sharing that picture, but that's not her. Yeah. Yeah. So I was looking at the chat. But yeah, there's all the and Facebook live streams as well. I can just live stream to Facebook, which is a more informal chat thing, and that's like more of an inner community thing. Like for people that really, really want to do it. I haven't made the subreddit yet. I'm still trying to find out if it's worth having one, but there's at least 3 or 4 people who've said they would join it, and that's a start, isn't it? At least, so yeah, it is worth me joining it. It was a starting one. I just have to check if my account has enough karma to start a subreddit and all that shit. You know, I'll be more active on Reddit. But yeah, there's any subject you're interested in, there's subreddits on it. You know, and there's a feed, and it's showing you the stuff from the subreddits that you subscribe to. So it's like sort of like a Facebook feed, but it's different to Facebook. It's not like Facebook, but it's more about discussion. It's like a big discussion forum. And the subreddits are all the different forums for all the different subjects. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I've only joined it because I said I was on it. Yeah, I haven't. No, my account is not. My account name isn't. Yeah, my normal name. Well, once I've made the subreddit, you'll see my account. Obviously, I've only just sort of started to get active on there because I was thinking about starting a subreddit, but it is a really useful site. And like I say, and there's a whole fucking industry of YouTube channels, which are people just making faceless YouTube channels where they just have stock footage playing, and they're reading out posts they found on Reddit. That's literally all their channel is doing, and they're actually getting thousands and thousands of views, and they're doing great. You know, there was even ones where there was a robot voice reading out the posts, so there wasn't even a person fucking recording it. You know, they were just setting it all up, and a robot voice was reading out, and they actually make money. Yeah, you always come across like a stalker, Glasgow Dave. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, well, that's it. This is the thing. You can't even trust the frigging books, can you? People think, oh, that's true because I read it in a book. It depends what case though, yeah, because people can write whatever the fuck they want, can't they? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, Kane's at your birthday. Happy birthday, yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, about, no, I've forgotten again. Sorry, watching the chat distracts me. I forget what I was going to say. Hmm. I see now. Who's coming across as the biggest stalker now? Like Bobby Gas Scooter Sales has just asked me to get married. Like Glasgow Dave is promising he's not hiding in my bushes. Dear God, I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers yet. Yeah, that's it. I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers though. Yeah, so share my. But this is the thing. It's hard to share my channel because I talk about weird subjects. Don't I? Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we're fucking a lot of us. Well, a lot of people I talk to in these Charles Manson groups and that say, yeah, there's no one in real life that they can talk about it. It's all weird. No one finds it as interesting as they do, sort of thing. So it's hard to share my channel with people. But if you know like-minded people who haven't already heard of me, that's the thing, because you probably come from groups where they've already heard of me anyway. But yeah, if you can, share my stuff with anyone. No, I've never heard of that, no. That's it, yeah. Oh yeah, that's it, yeah. And where's Billy Doyle? Billy Doyle could be stalking me as well. And the stuff I'm about to start saying about the Rolling Stones, Keith Richards is probably going to put a hit out on me or something as well. It'd be crazy. What if Keith Richards and Billy Doyle team up? Then I'll be dead. Yeah. So it's all right. Yeah, Glasgow Dave can't be asked to drive to the Isle of Wight. In case you don't know, guys, yeah, fucking Glasgow is a long way away from the Isle of Wight. But to Americans, it wouldn't be, would it? America's fucking huge compared to us. Yeah, it's a long, long ass drive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he is, as I'm about to expose. Yeah, fucking hell, that's quite what I'm gonna be talking about over the coming weeks. I'm just like, yeah, getting all the streams together, finalizing my research. Yeah, Keith Richards' knuckles. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about his knuckles. He probably like punching walls or something. Well, no, he's a guitarist, isn't he? So yeah, he probably protected his hands. Maybe not. I saw a meme the other day. People are saying he looks like Hoggle from Labyrinth, and he does, doesn't he? He's grown. He's turned into Hoggle in his old age. Hmm. What? Keith Richards had arthritis, did he? All right, yeah. So well, that would mess with his ability to play the guitar, wouldn't it? Yeah. So bloody hell, he did get stem cell treatment in it. Well, another thing I read in a book, because there was always the rumor that they got their blood changed. I'd always heard it was Mick Jagger and Keith Richards both got it done. But in Spanish Tony's book, he says Keith Richards did in fact do that. There was a Swiss clinic, and he could go and get his blood changed, and he wouldn't withdraw so bad, he could tour easily without having to go through a bad heroin withdrawal. And he actually did do that, though he's denied it in interviews. Spanish Tony knows that he did do it, and he did actually do that once apparently. No, I could marry little Mikey for UK citizenship as well. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm your favourite one. Oh yeah, Milky wants a prenup if you marry him. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Billy Doyle and Keith Richards are doing video on Nancy from the Led Zeppelin house. With the ghost of Kenneth Anger overseeing it. Yeah, that's it. I can't believe Keith Richards is still alive as well. I don't think anyone can they? Yeah. He probably can't believe he's still alive. Yeah. Oh, it'll be great. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna go silent. That's the thing with these streams on here. Lucifer Rising, yeah, it's the film. Mick Jagger did the yeah, He Will Outlive Us All. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to react to Lucifer Rising again another night on a stream. Yeah. When it's Bobby's birthday or whatever, let's do a stream for Bobby's birthday. And we'll watch Lucifer Rising again. Yeah, and well, I need to start advertising the streams better as well to make sure people know. But there's the only way I can do it is the community tab. Really, I need to post more on the community tab. And like I say, yeah, the subreddit sounds like a good idea. If there are enough people that use Reddit for it to be worth it, I will start a subreddit. Because I might be able to find additional audience on Reddit as well. I mean, you can't spam, you can't like share the channel, sort of thing. But if people like what I'm posting or whatever, and as I start talking to them, I can say that sort of thing, Hmm. Bill hates the comedian told a joke about Keith, saying a guy who wrote books on joking died of a heart attack, and Keith is still alive. Yeah. A book about jogging. All right, a guy who wrote the books on jogging. Oh yeah, well there was that guy, wasn't there? I know the bloke he was referring to. Yeah, there was a really famous fit guy in America. I think he's one of the people that was a fucking secret Max Jacobson user, though. He was a methamphetamine addict from Max Jacobson. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is Van Houten going to start an OnlyFans? Yeah, to make money. She doesn't need to, does she? Apparently, yeah, she's very rich. Yeah. Stuff at Bingley Hall. Keith and Mick walked past you in a narrow corridor and you spoke to Ronnie Wood. Well, yeah, Keith and Mick didn't fucking speak to you then. Only Ronnie Wood would fucking lower himself to speak to you. Yeah, that's it. That's Mick and Keith for you then, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I saw them when they played the Isle of Wight Festival. Amy Winehouse played as well, so I saw Amy Winehouse. I think she played. Yeah, it was the same day as them because she came on and sang a song with them. So I saw that as well. Leslie's rich. It's inherited wealth, isn't it? It comes from her family, and I think after the parents died, it's been invested for her or something like that. But yeah, it's inherited wealth apparently. But what she'd done was so bad, no matter how wealthy her family were, they couldn't get her out of jail, obviously. Well, not until now. But she studied law. She was a legal secretary. That's what she studied. I've heard people say psychology. It wasn't psychology. No, she studied law. She's a legal secretary. That's how she's got all these appeals through all the time. Yeah, she knows the fucking law. And she knows, yeah, because if you look at, I don't know if people have watched the Leslie streams, what it says basically in that book is that she got a sentence for something completely different, and she should basically have only done 20 years. She should have got out sometime in the 90s. She got completely the crime that she was convicted of was completely different to what everyone else was convicted of, and it was actually a travesty of justice that she stayed in prison as long as she did. Which is quite bad because of what she did, obviously. And that's why the governor had to say yes, basically, because if he had said no, then they could have took away the governor's power to override their decision ever or whatever. Didn't explain that very well, but someone explained it to me. So he was basically stuck between a rock and a hard place, so he couldn't intervene, and that's why they've let her out. Yeah. Oh, she's bought a house next door to Linda Ronstadt. No. Then we're all damned. If Leslie Van Houten and Linda Ronstadt team up, that's it. Sorry. Oh God, yeah, that was a comedy series. I don't know if they would have shown that in America, but there was two impressionists that did really good impressions of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, and they basically made a whole comedy series of it, didn't they? And that wasn't the only characters they did, was it? They did other people as well, but they were famous for doing Mick and Keith, so they ended up getting a whole series called Stella Street, and and it was like a street, and everyone in the street was a famous person played by an impressionist. And Mick and Keith were meant to own the corner shop in this street, and it was funny. Yeah. I wonder if there's any of that on YouTube actually. Probably is. Oh. The Meters were supporting the Stones, and you dealt some pots of them, the Meters, and you got a backstage pass. And Ozzy Osbourne was also there, head to toe in black leather. Wow, so that was what? So Ozzy Osbourne was there the night that the Stones were playing. What was he doing there? Oh, hi there. Yeah, I'm going to try. Oh, this is what I've been saying on this stream. I'm going to try and stream more regularly. But yeah, a problem is it's hard for me because I'm the sole researcher and the person that does everything. It's hard for me to have an organised stream to present every week. It slows me down from researching for bigger streams I want to do. So yeah, I'm going to try and do more streams where I'm just talking randomly, and I've got to try and build the community aspect of the channel more. And I'm talking about opening a subreddit as well, because for people that don't use Facebook, And also Reddit might just be a better way to discuss the kind of things that we're discussing, you know. That's it. Oh, there is Stella Street on YouTube, that is. You must mean, yeah. Yeah, we have to find it. Yeah, it's quite funny if you're amused by the Rolling Stones. Or people doing impressions of Mick Jagger, basically, yeah, because it is quite over the top. But Mick Jagger really is quite like that as well. If you watch him live on stage, that is actually quite good. Quite a good impression. That's the sad thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you don't do Facebook or Discord. Yeah. Oh, I can't because I'm not even going to ask people about Discord because I don't want a Discord. But I think the age group of my audience is quite old, basically, to put it bluntly. So I don't think we're Discord users. I don't think people would use a Discord who watch my channel. So I don't need a Discord. I think the Facebook group, and if people don't use Facebook, there's Reddit, and if you don't use Reddit, then I don't know what else to do. There's only like the comment section of the channel and the community tab. I wish the community tab offered some kind of group function, even if it was just a really basic group. It would be something, wouldn't it? And you used to be able to do Google groups, but I think they stopped them as well, didn't they? So you can't even do a Google group. Because if you've got a YouTube account, then you would have an account that you could use a Google group with as well. But I don't think they even have them anymore, do they? Yeah. Yeah. It still does one when Mick asked Keith where he put the tins of cling peaches. Was that a typo? Was it cling peaches? I can't even remember because that was that was a long time ago, and I don't really remember very much of the actual mechanics of the show. Just remember, it was a funny impression of Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, and but there was more people in it, wasn't there? As well, there was other famous people. Everyone in the street was famous, and it was all. Wasn't Rod Stewart? There was a guy who was Rod Stewart, and all that. So yeah, it was funny. Mm, yeah. My own website. Well, I thought about doing a blog, but that means writing again, doesn't it? I've got a lot of stuff that I would have to write blog posts about because I've got all my back catalogue of YouTube videos, haven't I now? Because really, you should do like a written blog post and make a video that is linked to that blog post and that sort of shit. You know what I mean? And because I haven't been writing blog posts, it means I would have to go back and write a load of them. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Oh, fucking hell, I don't think anyone's trying to get famous. You won't get famous from talking about this shit, will you? You know what I mean? That's the thing. If we wanted to get famous on YouTube, then this is not the niche that we would be fucking sitting in if that was what we was after. I don't think anyone's doing this to try and get famous. It really is just out of an interest in discussing it, isn't it? That's it. No, I've never been to America. I've hardly really been anywhere in Europe. I haven't travelled much. I've never been outside of Europe, no. I've been to Gran Canaria, which is the biggest Canary island, which is sort of like Spain, basically a Spanish colony, and Brittany in France, and Boulogne in France, which is just where you get off the ferry. Fucking basically, and they took us over there for a day trip with the school. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. That's Substack, but how many people have got that though? That's the thing. Because they see I've never heard of that. I don't have a Substack account, so I would be starting a new account with that. Because the most commonly used fucking platforms are, and Instagram as well. But I don't really use Instagram, but that's a thing a lot of YouTubers use, and you can do like short videos on Instagram, can't you? Or Instagram Reels. I think they can be quite long, though, can't they? But again, that means editing the videos to the right size and all this sort of stuff, and it's just like, oh god, it's another whole load of work. But a lot of people are on Instagram, aren't they? Most people have it on their phones. I've just never got into it. I never got into Instagram. But people are as addicted to Instagram as they are to Facebook, aren't they? But yeah, I can't be asked to do Instagram, so I don't want to set up an Instagram for the channel. A subreddit I could just about handle, and Reddit is good for research as well. If people are into doing research, it's worth joining Reddit because you find experts. There's a lot of dicks who just fucking shout at you and stuff like that, but it tends to be quite heavily moderated, so people can't get away with much, And sometimes, that's another complaint people have about Reddit is because each subreddit is moderated by its own moderators, and moderators can delete things that don't align with their views and stuff like that. Like there's no rules to what they're allowed to delete your post for and shit like that. So, but I would never do that on my subreddit. That wouldn't happen to my subreddit, obviously. But that is a problem with Reddit that people have. Yeah, that's it. Funnygram, that's what it's about, isn't it? Well, that's it. Most of the girls do Instagram modeling, wearing as little as they can to draw men in to pay for their OnlyFans, where you can see them in nothing, basically, isn't it? Yeah, that's what Instagram's all about for a lot of women now. Yeah. I think Stephen Parry went there to deliver drugs. Yeah, well, fucking, I don't know. Well, hearing that he had a history of burglary and stealing audio equipment makes me wonder if he knew there was going to be a robbery there and he thought he might be able to get the stereo. So maybe he was involved thinking it was just going to be a robbery and it went wrong. Didn't mean that kind of funny. No, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what the women are doing on Instagram mainly, isn't it? Well, obviously a lot of them are also wholesome fitness influencers or lifestyle people, aren't they? But you know the type of accounts I mean. The women that are just like showing as much as they can on Instagram, and then if you want to see more, you pay for their OnlyFans, that sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Well, that seems to be true as well, but I mean, we will never know for sure. None of us were ever there, but there seems to be quite a lot to back that up that he was. And there's like rumors that had he gone up there to have sex with Garretson, and was Garretson gay as well? And there's this idea of the pool boy mafia. I've talked about that on other streams, I'm sure. But that again is just speculation. That's why I've never done a fucking formal presentation presented the pool boy mafia, because that's just another bit of speculation. But there was a lot of pool boys involved in all these different areas, and they think that might be what Tex was doing at Dennis Wilson's house. He was, some kind of gigolo to them basically before Manson got there, and that sort of thing. And that there was a group of them because Harrigan and Doyle, it's in the police report, I have read that out, had a problem with the houseboy robbing a load of their money. So they all had these houseboys and pool boys. And is it all related? What were they all doing? Because there was one of them robbed Harrigan and Doyle. But I think that's a cover story. I think Harrigan and Doyle actually lost the money or blew the money or something and made the kids say that he had stolen it just to get them off the hook or whatever. Yeah. Substack. So yeah, what? It's just another social. But who's on it? That's the thing. That's the social media sites you advertise to people, but fucking who's there to fucking see it? That's the thing. Then I've got to get everyone else to sign up to that website, haven't I? Just to look at my YouTube channel. It's easier to pick an existing social media site that people are going to be part of. I understand why people don't like using Facebook, but fucking, I really don't care that much about them collecting my data, because fucking they don't know what to do with it anyway. If you look into it, they're not actually doing much. They're only targeting ads at you. Yeah, well, they say that. There's the interview, you can find it on archive.org, the interview that Brian Davis from TLB Radio did with Garretson, where he starts out all right, but then he starts talking about, but that was just, sounds like he just got scammed. because there's also this woman, isn't there, that claims that she's the fucking uh, Sharon Tate's baby, that it was twins and she's the daughter. And he starts talking, doesn't he, on this show about seeing another baby that morning. He was holding this baby. They gave him the baby to hold, or some crazy shit like that. And he obviously just makes himself look absolutely mental. And he says that came back to him under hypnosis after he met this Rose Polanski woman, or whatever the fuck she calls herself. He thinks that she's Sharon Tate's baby. But the other thing as well that makes me think as well is that Garretson, though, just trying to make out he's crazy so people don't question him, you know what I mean? So people don't come looking for him because they'll go, oh no, he can't remember anything, it's driven him nuts, he doesn't know nothing. So he's just acting nuts so people will leave him alone. And he'll never have to actually reveal what he knows. Yeah. Yeah, because that was just the point of this stream basically was just to tell everyone the situation, and so like expect maybe there might be weeks when there aren't streams, but the thing is, if I don't stream at all, then my views completely tank. So like I've got to stream, but I can't always have a presentation, and so like I need people to be willing to put up with that. But yeah, people are quite happy, aren't they? I think that's it. I can see in the chat now. We changed subject. Yeah, there was a band called Sharon Tate's Baby. That's mental. Yeah, and that's it. Well, I don't believe that either. Well, this is the whole back trails thing, isn't it? Did he escape through the back trails, and was he not there? This is what I believe. I believe that he wasn't actually fucking there. I think he ran off when everything started to hit the fan. Like I say, my own fucking gut feeling from what I've read about it all is that Stephen Parent was on the robbery initially, but when it all went mad and they started stabbing people to death, they tried to run. And Garretson got away and Parent didn't. Yeah, I think he hid, but did he hide it? Was he actually in the guest house though, or did he run off somewhere? You know, did he escape through some other exit that isn't there anymore, that you can't find anymore, but was fucking there at the time? And I'm now seeing how it is possible that there was another trail that was behind the, yeah. So it is possible that there was some kind of other exit that he could have got out of. But yeah, I don't believe if he was in there that he totally just had the music up so loud he didn't hear anything. And there's this story of people heard that he's supposed to have looked out the window, and Krenwinkel's supposed to have walked up to the window holding up a bloody knife and gone shh like that. And it sounds like he'd seen her just seen them finish stabbing Abigail Folger, basically. And that's what's said to have driven him nuts. You know, that's why he won't talk now. So he was, but yeah, people then question why they didn't kill him. So like that makes me think, what was he in on it? So like he couldn't talk because he'd have to confess his own guilt in being part of it somehow or whatever. You know what I mean? But this is all just total speculation. We can't prove any of it. And who bloody knows? We'll never know exactly what went on. Yeah. There's still a few people left who could reveal a lot about what the TLB murders were about, but it's likely they will stay silent. Maybe a deathbed confession. Well, some people, there doesn't seem to have been one from Linda Kasabian, does there? That's an interesting thing. Because you would think that throughout the years, she couldn't have held her tongue for her entire life, especially if she carried on taking drugs and that, you know, she must have, times when she was out of it, there must be people she confessed to. I'm surprised no one's ever come out of the woodwork and said, no, she told me all this. That's another one I'm surprised, that there was nothing from Linda Kasabian ever. She never confessed to anything. And that Tex never spun on her as well. Tex always just covered for her, didn't he? Oh, what? Ever see the Stone of Van Hootenford, where he speculates wildly about Garretson without any evidence? Yeah, no. Well, there was a good Tom O'Neill made public a tape of the priest that identified Garretson's body. The interview with him, and that I think that confirms that I don't know. I can't remember if he said if the priest admits that he knew Parent was gay. But I know he asked him an uncomfortable question about how he introduced Stephen Parent to another priest, but that's Sorry, I'm not explaining it very well. But yes, try and look that up. It will be on his Instagram probably, Tom O'Neill's Instagram, and it's probably been uploaded to YouTube somewhere as well now. But it's Tom O'Neill interviewing the priest that identified Garretson. And it does suggest that they're trying to cover up that someone's gay. And Outer Belly, the interview with Outer Belly as well. Outer Belly tries to deny a lot of stuff. Yeah. Krenwinkel, Shush and Garretson should be in a movie. Pretty has been in a movie, hasn't it, at some point? Yeah, that's it. Well, I've heard that she didn't write a book because she wouldn't be allowed to make any money off it. Basically, because of the crime, she couldn't make any money off it. Basically, if she wrote the book, so that was why she didn't write a book. Yeah, that's it. She was told to go and check the guest house, and she made eye contact with Garretson and raised her finger to her lips and said "shush," and smiled and let him hide. So that's strange. I just think in the mode that they were in, the way these things are going, I don't think they would have. If they killed the pregnant woman, if they wouldn't let the fucking pregnant woman live, I don't think they would have let the guy in the houseboy live, in the fucking guest house live, So I don't believe this shit. I don't believe that he was there. I think he got out somehow. He managed to get away. And he wasn't there. Or they let him live because he was in on it. They didn't have to kill him because he was guilty as well. So if he snitched on them, he was snitching on himself. You know what I mean? That's why they didn't kill him, because he was involved somehow. But again, that's just speculation. I can't say that's true, but that's just my gut feeling upon all the years I've been reading about this and hearing people talk about it and all that. That's just my feeling. That's the only other reason I can think of that they would let him live, is that he was in on it. He was one of them, Or he wasn't there at all. He managed to get away. He did escape down the back trails, which means the back trails have to exist. But I can't believe that he was in the guest house and they didn't kill everyone in the property. Because they killed Parent as well, didn't they? Why? Because, maybe this is my theory, is that Parent was trying to get away and they were worried he was going to try and get help. Or whatever, was going to alert the cops. That's why they killed him. And Garretson, when he saw what they did to Parent, said, "Oh, all right, I won't tell anyone. I'll never tell anyone." And so they let him live, basically. But that is just a theory. I've got no proof of that. That's just my gut feeling. That's it. There's explanations cancelling out other explanations, because if that's true, then that's it. Because we're assuming that Garretson really didn't know anything and was, if we think Garretson sat in the guest house, what he told us was he sat in the guest house with his music up so loud and he just never heard anything. So that doesn't sound believable at all, does it? So he's either fucking denying what he saw, or he wasn't there. But why wouldn't he admit that he ran away, that he wasn't there? If he wasn't there. Yeah, if he did run away, why wouldn't he say, "I was scared, I wasn't there"? And they found him there in the morning, didn't they? They found him asleep. They woke him up because he was the initial suspect, wasn't he? So he was the only one still alive. Yeah, that's the point. I'll have to read that. Did they wake him up? So that means he fucking slept. He fell asleep even after all that shit had gone on around him. Yeah, that's it. The story that our buddy could have told. He knew better than to talk. He was a sicko, wasn't he? He used to bloody take people to show them Sharon Tate's bloodstain in the carpet. He didn't even get rid of the bloodstained carpet and stuff like that. Sicko. Yeah, that's the point. I haven't seen James Watson tonight. It's not my usual night, though, is it? And I will be streaming on Sunday night as well, yeah. Yeah, well, this is what they were saying last night, isn't it? Yeah, that's what Dennis was getting at, wasn't it? But Paul was rightly saying to him, but what proof have you got for this? Where's the evidence? That's it. You can't just say that. We have to have evidence to say that. But Charlie's problem with Morehouse, sorry, just to clarify that, was what they were saying on Poolcast last. Well, what Dennis was trying to say on Poolcast last night was that Charlie didn't like the fact Morehouse was pimping out his daughter Ruth. And Paul was rightly saying, but yeah, where's the evidence? We can't just fucking say that. You know, we have to know that he was actually doing it. And it does look like he was, but you can't just fucking say that, can you? Yeah. And I don't believe that as well, because fucking Charlie was sex trafficking underage girls, so why would he have given a fuck? Basically, you know, he was into it himself. I think Dennis is just trying to defend Charlie there, saying that. I don't believe that that's true. Because yeah, and this is what Poolcast and that they're talking about now, and this is what they're uncovering, isn't it? The sex trafficking aspect of it, and Manson was up to his neck in that. And so people like Dennis saying that, oh, he didn't like what was going on with Ruth, it's just them trying to defend Manson and make out that he wasn't in on it, but he was. There's a rape report of him raping a 14-year-old girl on that ranch. You know what I mean? He was up to his neck in it. You can't defend Manson in this and say he was better than them. Because he fucking wasn't. Yeah, that's it. Dennis he defends Charlie. He's a Charles Manson defender. He doesn't want to admit that Charlie was as much of a scumbag as the rest of them. Yeah, he knows more than Shrek. Well, fucking Nicholas fucking knows better than to say stuff he can't prove because he gets called out on it and on a wide scale. So he fucking makes sure he's got sources before he says this shit. People like Dennis don't have the same problem as Nicholas. They don't have a fucking career, you know, well, a book to sell. It's not his entire career, but you know, he has to stick by what he said, doesn't he? And he has to be able to back up what he said, or people won't buy his book or won't watch his film that he's making or whatever, you know. But people like Dennis are just chatting on the internet, aren't they? So they don't care. I want to see the bloody evidence, basically. You know, you can't just fucking say that. And there will be no evidence. There will be no documents. They wouldn't have kept documentary evidence of their sex trafficking, would they? They were fucking criminals. So we'll never know for sure, basically. Unless they're saying there's FBI files. If we can find if they release FBI files saying that that is what they were watching the ranch for, then we'll have proof that there was sex trafficking going on or whatever. What happened in my house? Yeah, he went to prison. And Dennis last night was saying he went to prison for giving LSD to minors. But I'm sure I read that it was a sex offence against a minor. It wasn't giving LSD to minors. So again, Dennis seems to be trying to play down what Dean Morehouse did. So it's fucked up. I'm sure I read. I mean, I've got to verify that myself because I actually saw. What was it? Someone showed me yesterday because in America they have to be on a website, don't they? They have to be registered to the area. It has to be publicly known if they're a sex offender. And there was actually a page for Dean Morehouse. This was way later. It wasn't to do with the around the time of the Manson family shit. But much later, he did get done for a child sex offence, I'm sure. It wasn't just giving drugs to kids. Maybe back in the 60s or whatever it was, because that would be corruption of minors or whatever, wouldn't it? Which is the same thing that the girls were nicked for at Mendocino, giving LSD to minors. But they were barely more than minors themselves, were they? Oh, thank you. You go, yeah, this has been going for over an hour, isn't it? There's no point me going to an after show, really, so I'll just carry this on as long as people are interested in hanging around. Excellent. Yeah, thanks for coming. Anyway, and tune in on Sunday if you can, because this is the Mick Jagger thing. I don't want to reveal too much. Well, it's not just Mick Jagger, it's the whole of the Rolling Stones. It's a follow-on from the Altamont thing. Something I noticed about when I was reading up about Altamont and I was looking at lots of footage of Altamont. There was something I fucking picked up on. And it will help to lead into the fact that a lot of stories about the Rolling Stones have been slightly altered or skewed to make them look better than they were in that situation, basically. That's what it's all leading up to. Yeah, it's interesting. You think he was somehow protected by the feds because there's no way a regular parolee wouldn't have been sent back to prison after all the arrests Charlie was subjected to. And when I read the Spahn Ranch raid report, I thought, what the fuck, right? Because you read what he was saying to them. Because I thought, when I heard he got arrested at the Spahn Ranch raid and he got released, I thought, oh, I bet he was dead evasive with them. He didn't tell them who he was or whatever, you know, and and because in them days there wasn't computers. It would have taken days to find out that he was on parole, you know what I mean, and all that sort of shit. So I assumed he'd been evasive with them. But when I read what he was telling them, he told them he was on parole. He told them about a rape. He said loads of stuff. So it does seem fucking weird. But I think the other explanation for that is that not that he was actually a fucking CIA agent or anything like that. but that there was a larger surveillance operation going on, and Charles Manson was unwittingly leading them places. Basically, they were watching Charles Manson to see what he was going to do next, to see who he was going to meet next or whatever. And is this to do with the sex trafficking stuff and the amount of guns they had at that Spine Ranch raid? Were they gun running for terrorist groups or whatever? Fuck knows what they were actually up to, you know. And what the FBI were really investigating. And that is why I think they kept letting Charles Manson go, because he was leading them to greater things. And they didn't predict the fucking murders, and that fucking freaked everyone out. And so that's why they've covered up so much, that there was so much undercover surveillance going on. Well, there was so much surveillance going on because it makes them look bad. Because they should have fucking seen that these murders were about to happen and stop them. And why didn't they go in and arrest them? Because if they were watching them as closely as it looked like they were, they must have known who had done it. And they didn't arrest them for... It was only a couple of months, though, comparatively. If you look at other true crimes, right, fucking... They did actually catch them within a couple of months of the murders. It wasn't that long. But it does seem strange, you know. If they had the whole thing under surveillance, they must have known what they'd done. And they didn't move in and arrest them. Again, is that because they were still leading them to people, or they were still trying to see what they would do, where they'd run, where they'd take them, and that sort of stuff? Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. I found a really interesting podcast, and it was basically some people that had a radio show around the time of Altamont, and they were playing back the original. And the show had gone out the day after Altamont, and they were talking about how bad it had been. And Sonny Barger rang in, and they interviewed Sonny Barger. And they were playing the old show, and they were like reacting to it in the modern day, you know, like the original people. And that was really interesting. That's on YouTube somewhere. And Sonny Barger, yes, he sounds really out of it, and he's sort of really quite incoherent about it. But he's obviously very pissed off with the Rolling Stones because it made the Hells Angels look bad. Yeah. Booby trap weed patches. What do you mean? The Manson family. Possibly. Sorry, just looking at the chat for a second there. Oh god, yeah. People are booby trapping them, are they? Tripwires and fish hooks hanging at eye level. Bear traps, dogs, poison water. Grow-ups are scary to be coming across. Yeah, sorry. What was it? I was going off on a tangent, and then I stopped to look at the chat. Now I forgot what I was talking about, what tangent I was on. What were we talking about? We were talking about Garrettson, weren't we? Quite a lot tonight. Again, well, I wanted to do more videos in detail about, or at least one stream just concentrating on Patricia Krenwinkel and what we know about her, because she's like kind of mysterious. And out of all of the girls, she's the only one where we don't have any account from her point of view of what happened that night, right? Because like Leslie, obviously the LaBiancas, we've got her, what she said during the penalty phase, and a lot of her police interviews. But they've never released Krenwinkel's police interviews. She never testified in court, as far as I can see, unless it's in some of the volumes that are missing from the trial, because they don't have all the volumes of the first trial. I thought they did, but they don't. Yeah. And yeah, she's never give any interviews where she really gives an account that I've seen anyway, where she gives a full-on account of what happened. And that's it. It's just really weird. I want to know what she knows. How long have I been into it? Oh god. Well, it's like I say, it's not a big case that British people look at a lot. That's the other thing as well. That's why it's hard for me to find people to talk about it with, because we didn't talk about it a lot in the UK, obviously. And well, it was actually, what was it? Yeah, that was it. It's actually with Nicholas Schreck. I was interested in Nicholas Schreck for some reason. What was it? Yes, I think it was more his connections to the horror films and stuff like that. Because he'd worked with Christopher Lee, done an album with Christopher Lee, and his occult stuff. Because I found him interesting because he actually done quite a lot. He wasn't just chatting shit, you know what I mean? He looked like he'd actually done a lot, and so I was interested in him. And I found a TLB, and obviously a lot of the stuff of him is just him back in the 80s, and I wanted to see what he was doing now, sort of thing. And I found on YouTube him talking about the Charles Manson case on TLB radio, and that was the first time I'd heard drug burn theory, sort of thing. And I thought, oh well, that's interesting. You know, that sounds more plausible than what they told us happened. But there's no way to prove that. That's just anecdotal evidence, surely. And so I went and I looked, and the first thing I found was the FBI file, which mentions the shipment of cocaine or dangerous drugs. Gotta be careful what I say because people jump on me for it being dangerous drugs, whatever the drugs are. And so like I thought, wow, so they knew about drugs. And then I found the police report, and I found all this stuff about MDA and all that sort of shit. And this was around just before COVID, yeah. So like around 2019, I suppose. And I started to look into that, and so I joined more Manson groups on Facebook, and it was through Nicholas's group, which wasn't called a Brexit Circle back then. It was just to do with the Manson file. And I met Russ through that group, and I joined another group. And so I got really deep into researching it and presenting the stuff to initially Facebook groups. And that was when I started to do this channel. And I quickly lost the other two presenters. So then it was just me on my own. And I just wanted to present all the research that I had been doing. Because over COVID, of course, as well, we all had lots of time, didn't we, to read shit. And there's a lot of documents available for the Manson case. If you look, you know, it's just crazy. And so that was how I got into it. Basically, it was from I can't even remember what it was in particular. But I was just trying to see what Nicholas Schreck was doing now, and the most recent thing I could find that he had done was the interview with TLB Radio. And that was how I first learned about drug burn theory. And I was surprised that there was so much actually in the police reports and all that to back up the fact that there was drugs involved in this case. Yet this does not come out in court and in the official verdict and in the narrative of what we're told happened. They somehow managed to completely hush up that. And that made me suspicious straight away, you know. And the more you find, it's just like, well, fucking something is definitely amiss, isn't it? And, you know, a lot of people have lied, and it must have gone up so high as well. That's the scary thing, the scale of the cover-up. And if they covered this up so successfully, and to this day, people will shout at you, you know, like, oh, no, you're a liar, you know, you're smearing the dead and all this sort of stuff, you know, it's just a smear campaign against the victims, you're just victim blaming and all this sort of stuff. It's like, no, though, we're not. Look at the facts, though. It doesn't make sense. It never made sense anyway. I can't believe anyone ever really swallowed what they told us in court happened. And it's not real justice, is it, as well? It's not real justice for the victims. That's what gets me. Though there was justice served because all the people that were killers actually went to prison. But not really, because they didn't convict them for the right charges, did they, you know? It's not justice if they're convicted on a fucking pack of bullshit, is it? You know what I mean? It's not real justice. Yeah, that's it. Well, the mob and all the sex trafficking and drug dealing of the victims was covered up. Well, Jay Sebring was supplying drugs to like really, really famous people, wasn't he? Apparently, and powerful people. And also, Abigail Folger's dad was a very rich guy. And he's bound to have got private detectives himself and fucking found out exactly what his daughter was into and wanted that covered up about her, isn't he? So I think her dad is bound to have paid for it. And apparently Terry Melcher was really concerned it was going to harm his mother's career. So he spent money, didn't he? And somewhere in Chaos, Tom O'Neill says, doesn't he, that when he was talking to Melcher, I can't remember what it was, but he asked him a question that was awkward, and Terry Melcher said, oh, no, that's not true. And he turned to the guy next to him and he said, Vince was supposed to make that go away. So that's telling, isn't it? So it shows that Vince was paid to cover shit up. You know what I mean? I can't even remember what it was now, but it was something that makes Terry Melcher uncomfortable. And he goes, no, that's not true. And Tom O'Neill apparently actually heard him say Vince was supposed to make that go away. So shit was covered up on all levels. Even the fucking president got involved at one point, didn't he? By fucking saying he's guilty. Yeah. That's it. The Folgers in Gulf Western, yeah. Well, so many fucking Hollywood connections, yeah. The movie companies themselves might have wanted to get involved in it, yeah. And the porn, how close the porn connections were to the actual film industry as well, is going to have needed to be covered up, isn't it? Because that's the other thing as well. Well, that's what they were talking about in the podcast last night, wasn't it? The amount of porn that is being dealt around this time. Because all porn was illegal then, wasn't it? Any pornography at all. So, like, it was all underground and shady and horrible. But it's like because the only way that the public could have seen it would have been at theatres, wouldn't it? So there must have been theatres that were literally illegal, and if they got busted, they got fucking people went to prison and stuff like that. Was that actually happening in America? I assume it must have been. Because I can't remember what our laws were for a long. I know hardcore porn was illegal here for a long time, but I think ours relaxed quicker, sooner than yours did, to be in line with the rest of Europe. Like, no, that's it. The only thing that we have is fucking basically it's Paul Krasner, isn't it? Who says that the source for it is a private detective that Sharon Tate's dad hired, and he found the police trying to sell the porn tapes. And so, like, they did find some tapes apparently, and that was from a private detective that Sharon Tate's dad hired. So that's the only source for that, being legitimate, isn't it? And can we believe Paul Krasnick? Could he have fucking made that up, or have been told that by a bad source or whatever? Maybe he was told that and believed it in good faith or whatever. We don't know. Yeah. Oh, it was legal to sell but illegal to make. So that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was legal in the US by the early 70s. So yeah, just because this was like the very end of the 60s, wasn't it? Because that Robert Duke Hall, the man who killed him, all that it said about him is a pornographer. That was all it says about his job. It doesn't say anything else about anything else he did. He just sold porn. That was all he did. Pornographer. So that presumably means he made it as well, doesn't it? And I couldn't find a single picture of the other guy as well. There's obviously pictures of the judo Jean LaBelle matey, but there was no pictures of the other guy. All of the newspaper articles didn't have pictures of the defendants. It just was like words about the case, Yeah. Like you worked in the Pussycat Theatre in San Diego in '77. What was that? A porno theatre where they show porn or whatever. Yeah. There was I talk about in Britain. There was a film I saw. It was like a long documentary film about a woman called Mary Millikan. Have you heard of her? Yeah, she died a weird death as well. Her death was mysterious. But she was basically a woman who had a whole industry. She wanted to sell pornography, and she made pornography and all that, and she was known for it. And but it was illegal to sell what they call hardcore pornography, which is actual penetration, basically, isn't it? She couldn't sell that, but she was opening shops selling it, and she kept getting busted. And she never paid any tax, basically. And she was involved with Diana Dawes. She got involved with all kinds of famous people. She was kind of famous. And then Millington, Mary Millington, her name was. And then in the end, she died. And it looks like she might have committed suicide. She left a suicide note. And basically she was going to go to prison because she never made paid any tax. Apparently she was really paranoid about money. She just used to walk around with a huge sack of money. She just carried all her cash on her all the time. She wouldn't even put it in a bank, and she didn't want to pay tax, basically. And because she wouldn't pay any tax, they were going to send her to prison. So she committed suicide, basically. It's crazy. But her death sounds really dicey, and she had a husband the whole time. He was like silent in all of it, and he was the only person in the house with her the night that she killed herself. But she did leave a suicide note, and that is a desperate situation to be in, isn't it? Being scared of going to prison, because you go to prison for a long time for tax fraud, and she just absolutely refused to pay anything. She was really, yeah, that's an interesting story. Not going to cover her though. I don't think there's any footage of. Well, there is footage of her being interviewed where she's got clothes on because she used to. We had a woman called Mary Whitehouse as well, who was the one who complained about moral standards on TV. You probably would have had some kind of American equivalent of her. But she used to encourage people to write to the BBC about supposed filth on the television and stuff like that, and it would literally just be women wearing miniskirts or something like that. It was not even anything by today's standards compared to today's standards, you know. And they complained about everything, and they used to get Mary Milliken with Mary Whitehouse on shows to just to have them shout at each other, you know. And she literally was smut on the TV because she was a porn star. So yeah, I suppose they had a point, you know, putting her on the telly with yeah. Yeah, or Diana Dawes, her life, she was quite a gangster woman, yeah, as well. Yeah, that's it. Victor Lowndes, who ran the UK Playboy Club. Well, I've just found a book on archive.org that's about a guy called Wilf Pines who managed Black Sabbath for a while, and he's connected to all these gangsters as well. So I bet he is somehow connected to this guy who Victor Lowndes, or Lowndes, however the fuck you pronounce it, who ran the UK Playboy Club and that. So yeah, we'll get into talking about that because that's another thing I want to cover. But again, I've got to read books. You know, I have to have time to fucking read stuff and get it all together. Yeah. Oh, you thought Diana Dawes was sexier than Marilyn Monroe? Well, when she was young, the pictures of her when she was young. If you're going to compare her to Marilyn Monroe, yeah, she was a very attractive woman. She was more buxom than Marilyn Monroe, wasn't she? Because they say Marilyn Monroe was big, but she fucking wasn't really. Her waist was fucking small. She did have big hips and big a big chest, but she wasn't fucking skinny. She was quite skinny. Sorry, is the point? Yeah, because people say took like she was a plus size model or something. But if you look at her waist size, her measurements, she was actually very small. And what's her name? Oh, fucking what's she called? How can I forget her name? Kim Kardashian had to have Marilyn Monroe's dress altered, didn't she? Because it wouldn't fit her. It was too small. So yeah, women nowadays are fatter than Marilyn Monroe. But yeah, Diana Dawes really was a big woman. She was buxom. She wasn't skinny at all by any mention of the word. Yeah, Diana Dawes is, I think. Yeah. What? No one knows where her money was hidden. I didn't know that as well. What, she had her money hidden, did she? Because yeah, she was big friends with Mary Milliken. Apparently, Mary Milliken used to get around her house a lot, and they all did coke together. They were all addicted to cocaine. And that was another thing that made Mary Milliken go loopy was the cocaine addiction. And apparently, her mother was like a rock, and her mother died, and when her mother was gone, that was it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Mary Whitehouse. She was just, and they had her on TV just to fucking mock her, didn't they? Really. But she could apparently encourage people to write letters. She used to send out a newsletter to people or something, didn't she? Yeah. Yeah. She was actually called Diana Fluck. Yeah. There's a horror film she did as well, fucking hell, I found, with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Couldn't believe it. It's actually quite good. It's got a weird twist in it. Yeah, I didn't expect the twist. I knew there was something weird about the kids, but I didn't expect it to be what it was, so I won't spoil it for you. And it's got a really weird name as well that has nothing to do with the plot. It doesn't fucking tell you anything about the plot. It's called something stupid like In the Dead of Night. But yeah, it's Diana Dawes, Christopher Lee, and Peter Cushing in the same film. If you find that, you found it. Hmm. You find it hard to trust Shrek. Well, I've met him a few times now. I don't think he really has any reason to lie. In fact, he could make more money if he did lie. Basically, he could actually draw more publicity to himself and his projects and all that sort of shit if he lied and made up stories about his past and all that sort of shit. But he doesn't. I think he's actually quite trustworthy. Really. There's a TV show called Who Got Diana Dawes Cash. Yeah. Oh, and her husband must have known where it was, but he killed himself. So they just never found her money. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't remember from the end of that film what happened to Mary Millican's money as well. I assume the tax people just took it because apparently she carried all her money around in a big bag. No one knew how much she had, but there was just like a big fucking like carpet bag full of fucking cash that she had. Yeah. Yeah. Well, people think it's not true. Oh, people say it's not true. Has it been debunked, has it? Yeah. Yeah. She's into maths and code. I've never heard that about her as well. Never heard that. Yeah, she was. That was the last thing she did, wasn't it? That was just before she died. She was in Prince Charming. I'm just looking at the chat. People are talking about the Manson murders and Diana Dawes. We're changing subjects quite a lot. I think it's possible Watson was Team 2. Oh, yeah, because we're talking about, Team 1 and Team 2. Because, well, this is the thing. I've always thought, looking at these murders, it's hard to believe that Watson and the girls on their own were able to do what was done without any of them, being able to overpower. Do you know what I mean? It just seems unlikely. I always thought there must have been more people involved, basically, to do what was done. And so, this is where the theories about there being two teams of people. So that while one team were inside, there was another team outside doing stuff, basically. Because it gets really confusing. Like I say, the point of my reading out all the stuff from bloody Susan's trial transcripts, her grand jury testimony compared to what she says in the penalty phase and all this sort of shit. Because that's the only account we have of what happened, and it just sounds like total bullshit. It just doesn't make sense. It's just like none of it makes sense. So that what they say happened can't have happened. Basically, I just can't see how that they can have done it all on their own. I think that there was more men involved. And they reckon that Doyle and that really had gone out of the country, hadn't they? Tackett had taken him out of the country. But from what I was able to finally work out, the Doyle incident must have happened quite soon before the murders because you can date it to when they left the country to make that film in Jamaica. So if we could find the date they left the country, if that's written in any police report. And someone told me they did find it, and it was just a couple of days before the murders. So we know Doyle wasn't there. But was Tex working with other men as well? Were there other men involved? I think there were more men involved personally. So yes, maybe there was another team of people, but we've got no evidence for that, have we? Yeah, there's got to be two men, at least. I'm still trying to confirm that positively. I'll let you know if I can confirm it positively. Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, as far as I know. Someone's trying to confirm. They've got to see if he rings them back, basically. Hopefully he will. If he's still alive, but I've got a feeling he's not. I think that Tom O'Neill probably interviewed him quite a long time ago. And from the sound of it, neither of them was in the best health. Tackett was in a nursing home, wasn't he? He didn't sound very well. And I doubt Doyle was in the best of health as well at that point. COVID probably finished him off, didn't it? No, he wasn't English. He's Canadian. That comes from, right, the fact that people think he was English is this fucking. If you search Billy Doyle, there is a Billy Doyle who's an English yoga instructor, and people are thinking that is Billy Doyle. It's not Billy Doyle. He was Canadian. He was definitely Canadian. I've spoken to people that knew him. And knew him, and nothing to do with his connections to Hollywood, just people that knew him from Canada, who know nothing about his connections to everyone. All this sort of shit. They just knew him. They knew Harrigan and Doyle. And yeah, Billy is definitely Canadian. Yeah. Yeah, Sam's here. No, Sam. Funny turned up. The term snuff film had its origins in the TLB murders. No, I'm sure I've heard something different. I've heard another fucking origin for that term. I don't know though. I thought that the term came later. No, I'm probably thinking of video nasty, which is a British thing. I don't know, or did they do that in America? Did you hear that? Did you get that? Video nasties in the 80s. A lot of films got declared this weird word called video nasty, and that meant they were banned. Basically, you couldn't rent the videos anymore. And a lot of films that really were not that bad got declared video nasties. Films like Evil Dead and stuff like that got banned basically under this Video Nasties Act. I found out. No, I know people that knew him. The fucking well, I can't fucking discuss exactly how, but no, fucking trust me, it's Canadian people are finding out if he's alive or not. I'm not searching an electoral roll or anything. I know people that fucking have his phone number and they're ringing him up and they're trying to see if he's going to respond or not. Because if he's dead, he's not going to respond, is he? That phone number's going to be fucking dead, or someone else lives at that house now, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. And he's not American anyway. He's Canadian, and went back to Canada, as far as I know, as well. He didn't leave Canada. Well, he was in Canada in the 80s for his mate's wedding. That's the photo I've got. Yeah. How do people get his number there? I'm telling you, Dave, fucking hell, have you watched the Friends of Harrigan and Doyle video? I interviewed a woman who knew Harrigan and Doyle. And there's another person I'm talking to. These are like my fucking unnamed sources. I can't fucking talk about who they are. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. When they called Doyle, I hear the phone ringing in my building. Yeah. No, I think he's dead. I get a bad feeling. I don't think that, and I get the feeling as well. He's the kind of guy who would fucking have heard if his friends, old friends, have heard and contacted me, and he was alive, then he must have heard there's people talking about him on the internet, and I can't believe that he would stay silent. I think he would be the kind of person that would want to talk about it, and he would contact me. I don't think that he would hide. Yeah, that's it. Doyle is calling from inside the house. If he was still alive, I wouldn't be still alive. I don't think. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. No, I would never name my sources. I'll be like the fucking lawyer that they sent to prison because he wouldn't reveal whether it was Daishin or Bugliosi that leaked shit about the case during the trial, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. How old would he be? I don't know his fucking date of birth. Though that probably is findable because there'd be a police report on him, wouldn't there? Because there's a taped interview. But yeah, fucking he would be 70 odd, wouldn't he? To have been alive when he was alive. He would have to be in his 70s, wouldn't he? 80s even, yeah. Yeah, it depends how old he was in the 60s. I think by 1969 even, he would have been, yeah. So yeah, he would probably be in his 80s. And like I say, it doesn't sound like he lived the healthiest life, does it? Yeah. And the pictures I've seen of him, he didn't look that fit. Do you know what I mean? He didn't look like he was someone that fucking took care of himself very well. And that was in the 80s. The picture I've seen of him is from the very early 80s. So, yeah. I doubt he's still alive, to be honest. Yeah. I want to see Dave Mason's book, though. See if they have revised it. Because I don't know if people saw this, but someone from my Facebook group fucking contacted the ghostwriter of Dave Mason's book and said, are you going to write about the Charles Manson angle? And they cancelled the date of the book being released and put it back by a year. So maybe they're rewriting it, and maybe they are going to include stuff about all that shit. Well, Billy Doyle as well. I want to know more about the Billy Doyle thing. And weirdly, on that Mumacast stream that I did, a spike has appeared where I read the Dave Mason article out. Spikes. That means that someone was replaying that bit of the video over and over again for it to show up in the stats. So someone's been fucking watching that Dave Mason article a lot, and I wonder if that bit of the Mumacast stream. So I wonder if that is the ghostwriter. Well, I gave the fucking link to find the whole article, so all they had to do was click the link. They didn't have to keep watching my stream. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be 81 or 82 now, apparently. What? How did you find his date of birth? I couldn't think how to easily find his date of birth unless you looked for the fucking police report on him. That would probably give his date of birth, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's it. That was the other thought I had. Maybe now they've totally revised it to not mention anything about it. Yeah, because they don't want that to be the total focus of it. Or maybe he hadn't talked about the Billy Doyle bit, and the ghostwriter realised that people wanted to know about that, so convinced him to talk, and he's had to revise part of it to put in the Billy Doyle stuff. Because that's an interesting story. How the fuck did? Because Billy Doyle didn't know Manson. He wasn't related to Manson. It's only through the fucking Mama Cass connection that he ended up getting into CLA Drive and all that sort of shit, wasn't it? Yeah, you did find it in the police report, his date of birth. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, this is his details, is it? 27? Fucking hell. He's old. One arrest for uttering prescription for narcotic drug. Uttering? Do you mean altering? I don't know. Is that up here? William J. Doyle, Toronto, Canada. Yeah, and as far as I know, he went back to Canada as well and lived in Canada. He didn't ever move to the UK. And it's only Pick Dawson that came with her. There's evidence that she was with him in London, Mama Cass. Pick Dawson was with her. I don't think Billy Doyle was with her. Billy Doyle was with her at Vegas when she did her Vegas residency, though, apparently. So he was born in 42. Ah, right. No, sorry, I read that wrong. No, that's his age at the time was 27. Do they mean? And that's his height. I don't know. I'm reading the fucking numbers wrong then. No, he must have been older than that. And no, I suppose maybe in 1969 he might have only been 27. I don't know. She had a lavender June buggy, didn't she? The lavender June buggy. I've fucking shown that loads, haven't I? The photo of Mama Cass with a lavender June buggy, and the lavender June buggy is mentioned in the police report. The neighbours reported that they kept seeing a lavender June buggy going to and from the house at all hours of the night in the weeks leading up to the murders. And Mama Cass had a lavender June buggy. Yeah, he's 20. Yeah, that's it. 27 years old, 5'8". See, I was reading that as a date and thinking that was the year. Yeah, no, that would work out right, wouldn't it? Yeah, he would be about 27 in 1969, yeah. He would have been younger in 69, obviously. Yeah, well, if you can work out from his age, can't you? Yeah. How old would he be now? He'd be old as fuck. Yeah, Neil Young is also Canadian. A lot of people don't know that. Danny DiCarlo was as well. Yeah. They're everywhere. Their accent's only slightly different to yours. The rest of the world can't tell them apart. Well, we go for 1 hour, 40 minutes now. Good around there. I've got 23 people here still. Yeah. LA is one of the most important Canadian cultural cities, yeah. Yeah. So 81, so if he was 27 in 1969, he would have been born in 42, yeah. Yeah, and like I say, I get the feeling that he probably isn't still alive. To be honest, I'll be surprised if I hear that he is. And like I say, when I say if he was alive, he'd be aware. I don't think I'm not really scared that he would have wanted to fucking harm me, but I think that he would have fucking wanted to talk to me. Basically, if he was alive, I think he would have talked. And if he talked to Tom O'Neill, I don't think that he would have hid away. I think he said all he was going to say to Tom O'Neill, basically. For the sound of it, Charles Tackett fucking wound him up a lot and told him they were secret agents and shit like that when they weren't. But it does sound like they were the fucking Canadian CIA. It does sound absolutely mental, it really does. What I'm hearing. Because I know stuff about another guy who's not famous, but he was Billy Doyle's business partner. So yeah, there's all sorts of shit Billy Doyle was involved in. I'm interested in how he gets. This is what I want to know more detail about the Dave Mason thing, because I want to know how Billy Doyle became a music manager, how he ended up managing people. Because there's a lot of stuff he would have done that would have been money laundering. Like he used to collect art, apparently. I've heard. Yeah, he gave wedding presents, like really valuable pieces of art, like a Dali painting. He gave as a wedding present to someone, and he collected art. Apparently, that people remembered that about him, and that was probably just ways to get rid of money, wasn't it? So, yeah. And Buffy Samurai is not Canadian, yeah, and she's not a fucking Indian either, is she? Yeah, not that you meant to call them that, are you? Sorry, Native American. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird because she's the one that did Universal Soldier originally, wasn't she? She wrote Universal Soldier because that song was made famous in the UK by Donovan. Everyone thinks Donovan wrote it, but that was actually Buffy St. Marie, wasn't it? And that is mental, yeah. And she, for years, basically claimed to be Native American, didn't she? And it's been revealed now that she's not at all. She's been faking it all these years. She just identifies as a Native American. Oh, and there was another one that I found out that was quite a shock. There was an actor that was always used to portray Native American men, and there's a really famous advert where someone throws rubbish out their car. You see the Indian in the Native American in the canoe, and then he gets out and he stood by a road, and someone throws rubbish on the ground, and a tear runs down his face. That actor, and they found out after his death he wasn't Native American either. He was Italian, and he was just saying he was Native American to get work. But he was like the face of Native Americans to America for years, and he wasn't at all. It's terrible. All right, you're Canadian. Oh, that's all right then. I haven't just offended you by calling you an Indian repeatedly. Fucking hell. She did write what? She wrote a rock classic Codeine. Fucking hell, I didn't think she ever wrote anything other than the Universal Soldier. Are you being sarcastic? I hope so. Fuck's sake. And then she went on to pretend to be a Native American for the rest of her life. Isn't that a fucking surreal twist to it, though? Turns out she wasn't. Yeah, it's really weird because she's just known for like. She didn't need to do that, did she? She was already an established folk singer figure. She didn't have to fucking. But she used it a lot as well, though, didn't she? She campaigned. She used it to get publicity for herself a lot. Yeah, yeah. Sounds crazy. She sucked anyway. The Universal Soldier's a good song, but it's not really a fucking solution, is it? It's a nice song, but yeah. No, it's not the way we put the end to war. What really? She wrote a song named Codeine as well. I'll have to fucking look that up. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm interested in. This guy's Reddit. You've got to join Reddit. Fell down the Reddit rabbit hole today. I joined loads of Reddits. I joined a Sid Barrett subreddit. And I was like, fucking, that's the thing. If you're not on Reddit, it is really interesting. You can join like. And I found, yeah, I didn't know there was an episode of the X-Files where there was a kid that was obsessed with Sid Barrett. And there's a YouTube video showing all the Sid Barrett references out of this episode. Not the whole episode, but just all the bits. And you hear a couple of his songs and you see posters of him on the wall and all that. And I can't believe I never knew there was an X-Files episode where there was a kid that was obsessed with Sid Barrett, because he's quite an obscure figure. Not a lot of people would have heard of him. You just think I'd have fucking heard of that one. So I didn't watch X-Files obsessively when I was a kid. But I saw, like, yeah, the really weird ones. All the, like, the really crazy ones that you've all heard of. But I never heard of the one where it was a kid that was obsessed with Sid Barrett. Oh, what? She believed in the Braxis as well, did she? Yeah. Buffy Samurai, you mean, I suppose. Oh, God, and Rudy Altobelli was her agent as well, and that is possible. He was James Wood's agent, wasn't he? Because James Woods fucking tweeted something about that, didn't he? He tweeted he was reading Chaos. Oh, I remember the weirdest one I watched. There was some kids that had got into Area 51. Do people remember that one? And they were just staggering around in the desert, and they were all stood there, and like they used the fucking shitty 90s as special effect for like a weird dimensional, weird wavy line comes across, and it passes over all of them. And two of them were kissing as the line passed over them, and their fucking faces get fused together. It's really fucked up. Yeah, that was an X-Files episode. I remember seeing that. It was really weird. Yeah, and their mouths are fused together. Before the Human Centipede, there was the X-Files. It was really fucked up. Yeah, and I can't even remember how they resolved that as well. I don't think they ever really told you how they could detangle those kids. Like, it's like, what the fuck? The truth is out there. Yeah. And she's actually English and Italian. Oh yeah, and there's one of the Baldwin brothers' wives who says she's Spanish, and it turns out she's fucking not Spanish, and it's like really awful. All become really, really obvious that she isn't Spanish. But she's done loads and loads of interviews where she's gone on about how she's Spanish, and she isn't Spanish. Why do people do this? Claim to be for a nationality they're not, because they must know people are going to find out in the end, you know. But it's kind of suggested that he's into Spanish women for some reason, and so that's why she pretended to be Spanish. So she tricked him into marrying her, making him think that she was Spanish, and she actually isn't. Is it the one that shot someone recently on a fucking film set? Is it Alec Baldwin? Alec Baldwin's wife? She's not actually Spanish. Gonna be a country girl again. Yeah, I didn't know that she fucking did anything other than, like I say, Universal Soldier. I'd heard of her as the woman that wrote Universal Soldier, and then I saw that story about the fact that she claimed to be Native American her whole life and then wasn't. Yeah, yeah, that's it. People who talking funny accents, so they're in business, isn't that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Hilaria Baldwin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, she's done like tons and tons of interviews where she claims that she's Spanish, and like people can like trace her back to her high school and her parents, and they're not Spanish. They didn't even have a villa in Spain or anything. There's no connection to Spain whatsoever. She was from New York or something, yeah, and that's it. But he hasn't left her, so He must be tolerating it. He must have known, surely. It's all just a fucking facade they put on, innit? I think maybe really famous people, maybe it helps them stay sane to have like a public facade that isn't real, that isn't the real them. And privately, they're something else completely, and it just makes them feel like more, like they have some sort of a private life if people don't know the real them. Like this stuff about Michael Jackson. Apparently, Michael Jackson actually spoke with a normal, deep man's voice when he was just talking to his friends. But when he was doing interviews, he used to put on a falsetto voice when he was talking. He put on that weird high voice and all that. But apparently, he didn't really talk like that. Like he had a whole persona that he did in interviews that wasn't like really what he was like. And that was probably just him trying to have some kind of private life, wasn't it? Some kind of thing that he didn't share with the entire world. Must be a fucking crazy. I can't imagine what it must be like to be as famous as these people are, and fucking not be able to do anything, go anywhere without people recognizing you. And yeah, that's it. The kids have Spanish names and all that. Yeah, yeah. And like I say, I've seen because someone had made a video about it and showed this cookery show that she did, where she was being bitchy to this other woman that was cooking Spanish. They were cooking Spanish food. And she was like fucking being dead bitchy about it and saying, her Spanish relatives wouldn't do it this way and all this sort of shit. It's like, turns out she's not even fucking Spanish. She's just full of shit. Yeah. Michael Jackson was born black. But he did there is actually a skin condition called vitiligo, isn't there? And his sister has it as well. One of his sisters has it. That is a real thing. So he wasn't really trying to bleach his skin white. He just had this skin condition that was turning his skin white. It wasn't anything he did deliberately. That is actually a thing. No one fucking believed him, I'm sure, but fucking that is actually a thing. And his sister has it as well. One of his sisters has it, I'm sure. The one that you don't hear about so much, not Janet, Toya. I think it might be Toya. Is it Latoya? No, Latoya, isn't it? Latoya Jackson. Yeah. Michael Jackson, yeah, he was obviously just a white woman in disguise, wasn't he? That's what he sort of turned into, yeah. Yeah, the Afrocentrics before he had all the fucking plastic surgery and that. But there was an interview he did with a guy called Martin Bashir that's very telling. I think that's like the closest to the truth of why fucking Michael Jackson was the way he was. And of all the wacky conspiracy theories about Michael Jackson that there are, the one that I believe is they gave him puberty blockers when he was a teenager to keep his voice high because he did have a really weird, unnaturally high singing voice for a man. And also he got acne, didn't he? In that Martin Bashir interview, he mentions that when he was a teenager, he got acne. And he was walking through when he was a teenager, and he was walking through an airport with his family, and a woman stopped them and went, "Oh, where's Michael? Where's Michael?" Because she went to look at Michael, and he said, "Oh, here I am," and he had spots all over his face, and she went, "Ooh, what happened?" And it really affected him mentally. Apparently, it really did his head in, and he felt really bad. And around this time, it would be around that time that he was going through puberty. They would have started to give him puberty blockers to stop his voice from changing, because he was the lead vocalist, wasn't he? And so he maybe really was on puberty blockers and testosterone blockers. And he was weirdly hairless as well. If you look at videos of him where he does not have a shirt on or anything. I mean, he could have been shaving all his body hair off, but he had no body hair whatsoever. Yeah. There's a video of Hilaria saying she can't pronounce cucumber. Yeah, because of her Spanish. Yeah, yeah. I think he was, wasn't he? And also fucking Diana Ross as well. Elizabeth Taylor and Diana Ross. And there's a weird rumour about him and Diana Ross as well. Have you heard this? She might have molested him when he was underage. There is actually a fucking weird rumour about that. Diana Ross and Michael Jackson when he was a kid. Yeah, well, this is the thing. You see, if they gave him puberty blockers, that's like chemical castration. So yeah, that would he would be a. That's why his voice was the way it was, because they were giving him testosterone blockers his whole life, and that's why he looks feminine. and why he had no body hair. Though apparently when he talked normally to just his friends, he did have a normal pitched man's voice, but to sing. And it would explain why his voice was as high as it was and why he seemed to find it so easy to sing high. But yeah, I can believe that. That was what was fucking going on with Michael Jackson, or part of it. And that would have changed, made his behaviour strange as well, wouldn't it? Obviously, fucking hell. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. She sort of, dated him or whatever, didn't she? But yeah, there's rumours that she actually slept with him. It wasn't just like, they weren't just like going out for a publicity stunt to get photos taken or whatever, and she actually slept with him, I've heard. Whether that's really true or not, fucking who knows, but that is a rumour. I think he was good until 1973, yeah. Well, weirdly, I got to see him totally by accident as well. It was just, I just happened to be in London when there was a spare ticket and a group of people were going. It was when I was a kid, the Dangerous tour, which was the tour he took Geordie Chandler on, which is the tour where he's supposed to have been molesting Geordie Chandler. And he was an amazing performer. He really was. To see him live, there was something about him. He was an amazingly talented person. Because I wasn't really that much of a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I didn't start crying when he came on and everything. But he did. He had a tremendous presence. The influence he had over the crowd and that, it was amazing. He was a really, really good performer. Yeah, but that was, what was that? When would that have been? Fucking early 90s, I think, wasn't it? The Dangerous album came out. Yeah, and another thing was, do you remember there was a band called Crisscross? There was two young lads. They were only like about 12 or something. They were really young. And their thing was they wore their clothes back to front. They had their jeans on back to front and they had their shirts on back to front, and they were like a rap act. They were supposed to be supporting him, and they never came on. There was no. They just made us wait for about 2 hours. He was late coming on, and the support act never arrived. So we never got a support act, and we just had to wait. And they do that deliberately to build up the tension for when he walks on. But yeah, we had to wait for 2 hours, and the support act never came on. And it was just a weird little rap act that fucking was only around for that period of time. And they were meant to be supporting Michael Jackson, but they never came on. Ben is your favourite Michael Jackson song? Yeah, I've got to find that film and watch that film. Yeah, because I've been told about the film. Yeah, yeah, that's it. They did that. That was their song. Crisscross will make you jump, jump. Yeah, that's it. One of them died because they were. I don't know. Because they were kids, weren't they? As well. That was the other thing about them. They were not even like teenagers. They were like about 12 or something, weren't they? That was the thing about them. So it's kind of worrying. They were on tour with Michael Jackson. Isn't it? But that was the big thing about them, was that was their gimmick. Their clothes were on back to front for some reason. Like their trousers were literally on backwards and their shirts were on backwards, and they stood there with their arms crossed. I was like, what the fuck is this? But yeah. And they never fucking came on as well when we were waiting. It was a nightmare. Yeah. Made us wait for 2 hours. He was 2 hours late coming on, and the support act never played. Yeah, and at the end, he put on a fucking rocket pack and blasted, because it was in Wembley Stadium, so open air. And he fucking put on a rocket pack at the end and blasted off and flew out of the stadium. But he climbed into a box and curled up, and then the box was removed and someone flew off. So I don't think it was actually him. We all speculated it wasn't actually him. There was a stuntman in the box that did it. Yeah, and he threw his hat because we were seated. We were not in the standing bit, because it's a football ground, so it would have been the football pitch. Everyone was stood on. And when he threw his hat, you saw the crowd surge. It was like fucking people probably died when he fucking threw his hat, because everyone was diving to get his hat. Oh, what? There's photos of them handling the rats in a house in Motown. Yeah, was that probably for the bent posters or whatever, weren't it? Yeah. But no, I don't think that, because it was just the song, wasn't it? He wasn't actually in the film or out like that. It was just the song. He wasn't the actor in the film. But it was about a kid, wasn't it? From what I've heard, it was a kid that was friends with a rat or some shit, wasn't it? His only friend was this rat. Hmm. Chris Kelly. Who's Chris Kelly? What is he? The one of Crisscross that died? Which one? Oh, did anyone ever get the hat? Yeah. Well, someone did catch it. Yeah. Michael Jackson's hat when he threw his hat. Yeah. Well, someone presumably got it. Yeah. But I remember the way the crowd surged, it was ridiculous. Like fucking a part of the front emptied. Like the people moved so. Someone must have got crushed somewhere. Willard should have had Michael Jackson. I haven't seen that. Either. I don't know. Oh yeah, his dad was terrible, wasn't he? Yeah. Crisscross. Yeah, Chris Kelly is the one from Crisscross that died. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Because I didn't know what, so that must have been when he was older, surely. Because I would have heard, surely that would have made the news if he died when they were still kids. But I'm sure they were like really young. They were ridiculously young. They weren't even like 15, 16. They were like about 12 or 13, weren't they? Hmm. How did he die? Did he die later? Because I know one of Milli Vanilli died as well, didn't he? They're not related, but he's talking about fucking weird pop acts, and one of them died when they got older. He died from drugs as well. Fucking hell. Probably from going on tour with Michael Jackson, trying to erase the memories of what happened then. And it was when he was in his Geordie Chandler days as well. Apparently, the Dangerous Tour, wasn't it? Oh god. Who would win in a fight, Joe Jackson or Ike Turner? I think Joe Jackson is probably fucking harder than Ike Turner. Yeah, I think Joe Jackson could probably beat up Ike Turner. Ike Turner was a pussy, wasn't he? He beat women. Like Joe Jackson probably did as well. I imagine he probably beat their mother as well, didn't he? And them, apparently he beat the kids a lot, didn't he? Yeah. That's why they're all so fucked up. Boney M and Millie Vanilli were the same producer. Yes. There's thing about Boney M as well. The man in Boney M, that wasn't his voice on the records either. There were lots and lots of records where it wasn't the voice of the person that was being presented. Milli Vanilli were just really unfortunate for getting caught out the way they did. That actually happened quite a lot. You'll be amazed. Yeah. Yeah. Joe Jackson was an auto worker and Ike Turner was a pimp. Pimps don't fight men, yeah. Yeah. Ike would kick his gorilla butt, yeah. Yeah, what? You couldn't believe that the guy from Boney M wasn't singing. No. No, I think the women were. I think the women were singing on Boney M. It's just the man. It's just not his voice. And on the last record, the last of all the records, apparently. Yeah, one of them died, and one of them got addicted to drugs and died. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I do as well. Fucking yeah, the Americans probably don't. I don't know. Was Joe Jackson big in America? Probably not. Don't know though. They might know Stepping Out. Do you know Stepping Out? That was probably a big hit all over the world. Oh, it's a hard song to hum as well, isn't it? Na, 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 na. If you know it, then yeah, you would recognise that instantly. That's Joe Jackson in it, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, you've never seen some white dude. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. And is she really going out with him as well? That's a good song. What other ones did you? Yeah, I think that's his two big hits, isn't it? It's is she really going out with him and stepping out. And there's one more. I'm sure there's one more that I'm forgetting somewhere. But yeah, nothing like Michael Jackson's dad, Joe Jackson. No, very different Joe Jackson. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's amused me now. Yeah, but imagine these Americans finding Joe Jackson. Go, what? That's not Joe Jackson. No, it is. He was slightly balding at the front, even at the time, wasn't he? As well, it was back when musicians really did just fucking look like session musicians, didn't they? It was before they had any image. Yeah, they were kind of rough looking. Hmm. Yeah, well, that was it, wasn't it? He was a producer. No. Well, she could have been produced by anyone, couldn't she, as well? That's the other thing. It was her talent as well. And that was what got him, I think, wasn't it? He was jealous of her because he looked, she was better than him. Oh, so it's run on. Fuck it. Yeah, I can just leave that. Fuck it. I don't have to edit it. Most people won't bloody watch this far anyway if they're watching it on playback. So it doesn't matter if there's a load of pauses towards the end, does it? Yeah, I know. She only died recently, didn't she, Tina Turner? Well, a few months ago, wasn't it? At the end of last year, sometime. Yeah, it was the end of last year. She died, wasn't it? She outlived him. That's it. Different for Girls. That was doing my head in. I knew that there was another big song that he did. Yeah, he did that song, Different for Girls. Stepping out, and is she really going out with him? Yeah. Yeah, Different for Girls. That's a good song as well. That's his other good one. And I like Is She Really Going Out with Him as well. But that sort of comes off a bit jokey or like a novelty song compared to his other songs. Don't it? You didn't know Tina Turner had died? Yeah, no, she died. I think it was the end of last year. It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, she has died. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear if I can. Because Charlie Watts, I can't believe Charlie Watts was the first of the Rolling Stones to die as well. He's the one that lived quite a straight life and just went home to his wife at the end of everything. He didn't get involved in all the drugs and shit. Yeah. How ironic is that? Charlie Watts outlived Keith Richards, but Keith Richards goes and gets his fucking blood changed and shit. Yeah, he's probably been injected with stem cells since before like the general public even knew it existed and shit like that, hasn't he? He's so rich. The bastard. Sorry, I might do the be right back screen and go make myself a cup of tea actually, because I've been going for 2 hours, so my throat's getting dry. I do be right back. Yeah, you'll be able to handle that for a second. It'll give everyone a chance to go to the bathroom or whatever, won't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll remember to put it on loop this time, because sometimes I put this on and I forget to loop it and it only runs for about 15 seconds. So I walk away and the camera's just pointing at my wall or something. And you can hear me peeing in the bit. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take a break quickly because it saves me starting another stream, going to an after show and starting another stream. Oh, that's it. And I'll do that. Loop. So now it's looping. And I'll play some bloody music for you. I'm just going to get it off the screen. Well, it shouldn't take long. There you go. I'm back. Right. Oh, thank you. Oh, it didn't lose too many people as well. Maybe some people will come back. Cool. Yeah, no, I do. That's Doug Organ. I'll have to put a credit in the music in the description now. Or he'll but they could do a thing called a copyright claim, which is not a strike, so it doesn't get your channel in any trouble, but it's just showing that they know that you've used their song for them. Yeah, Doug Organ he's called. And that song's called Nag Champa, I think, which is the joystick, isn't it? So yeah, it's definitely meant to be about marijuana, I think. Yeah. Sam Smith may use confidential informant in Tahiti. Yeah, that sort of thing. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I've eaten. Oh god, what did I have earlier? Jacket potato, basically. Yeah. Pretty dull in comparison. Because you got a cup of tea now, just gotta wait for it to cool down. What's that? Stephen McElwain, yes. When he spoke to and George Harrison did have a fling. More importantly, she kissed me at Southside January Duke's gig at Manchester Palace Theatre. Wow. So you kissed Ronnie Spector as well? Yeah, what were people saying? While I was gone. Anything interesting? Yeah, and I should start reiterating what I was saying at the beginning, because there's bound to be people that weren't here from the beginning. You'll see it on the playback, won't you, in the end? But it's the point of this stream was all about, well, I need to get more people actually showing up to the streams, because I don't have a big enough audience for the amount of years I've been going. Though I do quite well, I think, compared to some channels. Actually, having joined some groups and seen other small channels and how well they do, I think I'm actually doing quite well. So I don't need to worry that much. But the thing is, as well, I find it really hard to stream as much as I need to get the channel, keep the channel going. So yeah, and I'm thinking about starting a subreddit as well. So if people got Reddit accounts, is there anyone in here who wasn't here when I asked that earlier? Would people be interested in joining a subreddit? I think I am going to start it now, because there is at least 3 or 4 people that are interested. We can just have our own like super private subreddit, can't we? Can set it to be entirely secret, so you have to be like invited to join it and shit like that, can't I? If hardly anyone wants to join it. But yeah, because there needs to be like a bigger community, doesn't there? Really, so people are more switched on to when the streams are happening, and yeah, that's it. Little Mikey will join a Reddit, and Capone uses Reddit, which is good, yeah, because you're like you, and now Mark just became a moderator as well, didn't he? Are you in my Facebook group, Mark, as well? Do you use Facebook? Do you use Facebook or Reddit? Because like I say, it's a place where we can share stuff and coordinate stuff, you know, like around the streams and that, isn't it? Yeah. If we need, you know, about another platform for people that don't have Facebook. Because obviously every time there's a stream scheduled, everyone from the Facebook group I invite. So everyone that's in the Facebook group gets notified. But yeah, you don't use Facebook, so you're not using the Facebook group. And I was asking Mark, I've just made you a moderator, haven't I? That's the thing as well. It's just good to be able to talk to the moderators before streams and that, you know what I mean, just to like coordinate stuff and all that sort of thing. Not that I get a lot of trouble in my chat. We haven't even had a lot of problem with bots turning up and that, have we? Like, you used to get a lot of problems with bots posting links to porn and shit like that, just showing up in the chat, and so you had to have a moderator to be able to get rid of them. But we haven't even had that happen, have we? And I haven't really had any trouble with people showing up and just trolling us as well either. People seem to stay away. I think, yeah, the titles of my streams are too scary. People are scared to come in, aren't they? That's the other thing about promoting my channel and sharing my channel. It's really hard to know where to share this shit, because it's such a weird niche subject. You can't just go and share it in everywhere, can you? So I say to people, it helps if you share the channel. But I understand it's hard because these are weird niche subjects. And a lot of people say to me, these Facebook groups and through YouTube channels like this is the only place they get to talk about these subjects because other people aren't interested in it, So yeah, I understand if you can't share it or if there's not much you can do. Just watching it helps. You've never done Reddit. You're on Facebook but rarely use it. All right, because you could sign up to my Facebook group, but if you're not seeing the notifications for it and that, it's pointless anyway. Yeah, but I have a Facebook group, you see, and because the bigger the community aspect of this thing, the better the channel grows. That's the only thing I can really improve about my channel because I've done all I can for the production values. I'm too skint to buy a better computer with a quieter fan and all this sort of shit. People will just have to learn to live with the fan. And people do like this style as well. There are people. I'm just not finding the audience. This is why I want to get onto Reddit as well. Start getting into Reddit. Just try and spread the word because there used to be the point of this is to create discussion as well. I don't just want to sit here and tell you these things. I want to discuss it with you. That's why I like to do live streams instead of just doing a video where I present it and that's it. This is why I do live streams. And like I say, I can understand people not wanting to use Facebook. And if you don't use Facebook because you don't like data gathering sites, then you probably have the same feelings about Reddit as well. But Reddit isn't quite as bad, doesn't have quite as bad a reputation for that, does it? The problem with Reddit is moderators can moderate whatever they want. So there's Reddits where a moderator is deleting things that don't align with their political views and shit like that, which is bad, isn't it? But I would obviously never do that on my subreddit. I would only ever fucking delete anything that was really, really illegal or whatever, Yeah, Reddit gaslights users, yeah. Well, this is the thing, you see, it's moderated by its own community, isn't it? And there's power mods that are moderators in so many different Reddits. And they can just ban people they don't like, if your political views don't line up with them or whatever, yeah, they can just ban your account. I had an account banned on Reddit, and I hardly used the account. That was the thing. I don't know what the fuck I could have got banned for, because I hardly fucking used the account. And it was when I went to sign into it, it said your account's been banned. It's like, what? What did I do? And it doesn't. I hadn't even posted with that account very much. You know what I mean? It's weird. Yeah, that's it. Subreddits can say its own rules. So I must have pissed off someone in a subreddit, basically. But how could I get banned entirely from, my entire Reddit account had been banned. And I hadn't even done anything, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I had gone, because at the time I wasn't sharing a YouTube channel or anything, so I hadn't even done anything that was spammy or out like that, you know what I mean? I was literally just had commented on a few things. And that shouldn't get you banned, should it? It could get you banned from a subreddit maybe, but not the fucking entire account. It is a weird thing. Yeah, posting on Reddit is stressful. There are, on the busier subreddits, there's subreddits that aren't so busy, aren't there? And there's a lot of people that just fucking like to attack people on there as well. Like I say, and if I had a subreddit, then we'd only be dealing with each other, wouldn't we? And I think there are ways to limit who joins it, aren't there? So I could set it so that it's invite only or whatever. Because at first no one would find it anyway, would they? But if we had problems with people that were nothing to do with the channel joining up, who were just there to make trouble, then we could start doing settings on it or whatever, couldn't we? Yeah, that's it. That's the problem I've been having. You have to build karma on Reddit to be able to post. On certain subreddits, subreddits have it set so you have to have a certain amount of karma. But if you just want to comment, that doesn't matter anyway, does it? Because you don't necessarily need to do a whole post, do you? You just commenting on the post that already exists. It's all right, isn't it? But yeah, you quite quickly earn karma though, just as long as you just contribute to conversations and upvote things. And if you say something that's useful and people upvote your comments, that gets you points, doesn't it? So yeah, it's not that hard to build the karma bit. And so I don't know if I will have enough karma on my account to start a subreddit yet. But if I can, then I will. And True Crime and Moonshine will have a subreddit. I'll keep it open at first and see if there's any trouble. If there isn't any trouble, then there's no need to shut it down, is there? People steal your jokes and repost the thread without your comments. Yeah, fucking. Well, I saw that recently. I was looking at Reddit. I happened to have looked at Reddit to research something. And someone said something on Facebook, and I could see that they had literally copy and pasted someone else's comment off Reddit and put it on their own thing. I won't say who it was. It's someone with a YouTube channel as well. You know, like fucking these people, they're just nicking stuff off Reddit and posting it as if it's theirs. So yeah, it's worth looking at Reddit. And like I said, there was an interesting Charles Manson subreddit I've just found. And whatever subject you're interested in, you know, so you can have it. Like I've just signed up to like the LSD subreddit and the psychedelic subreddit and all this sort of shit. You know? Just whatever you're interested in. And you sign in and there's a feed of like all the latest posts from all your different subreddits. Oh, yeah, a Reddit influencer, yeah. Oh, so they were actually plagiarizing your comments within Reddit and getting away with that? Like it's yeah, I suppose they don't have a thing in place to check for plagiarism, do they? Because there can be automatic software, can't there, that fucking that tells them if you copied and pasted it from somewhere. But I doubt they bothered to do that on Reddit, do they? Yeah. Yeah, but I know it depends. It totally depends on the subreddit that you're in, doesn't it? Basically, and these power mods are a problem, though. Apparently, the mods that just delete people they don't like or whose views don't align with theirs or whatever. But yeah, I don't think they're getting away with that so much now because fucking it would kill the site, but no one would use the site in the end. But yeah, on YouTube, it is a whole bloody industry as well. There's people whose whole channel, all they do is read out stuff they found on Reddit. And, you know. And 4chan as well, the site 4chan, people reading out stuff from 4chan. You know, this is a whole fucking industry on YouTube. So, yeah. Be good to get the conversation going better, you know. Shit, sorry, I've just realised. Something's falling down here. Got it. Oh, no, you can see my grey hair. Look, close up. Shit. Should I edit that out later? Oh. Just looking at the chat now. It's crazy. Oh, what? Dumb and Dumber was shot within 45 minutes of your house. Yeah, because part of it is in Vegas, isn't it? Dumb and Dumber, doesn't it? Don't they? Do they end up in Vegas? Yeah, or they start in Vegas and then they have to travel to Aspen to find the fucking woman he's falling in love with or whatever, don't they? Yeah. So I went to see that several times at the cinema, I think. No, it was The Mask. The Mask was the one I got taken to see a load of times for some reason. Yeah, I like Jim Carrey. When I was younger, he's funny. He is still funny. And he's gone through some crazy shit as well, and like seems to have gone through some kind of mad spiritual awakening, and fucking some weird shit has happened around him. Conspiracy theories about him, but yeah, he looks like he's got like this sort of fucking haunted eyes of someone that knows too much or has seen too much now, hasn't he? Should do a fucking stream about him. It's not vintage enough though, is it? That's the thing. I meant to be talking about vintage stuff. That's the point, and I want to expand beyond just talking about Charles Manson, you know. Oh, some of your grey hairs still produce the red pigments. Oh, what? So yeah, so it looks like you're ginger. But your hair was brown when it wasn't grey, was it? Oh god, yeah. Just reading everyone in the chat. There's no point putting it all on the screen. It's just people conversing about that. Which is not good for the people watching on playback, is it? That's the trouble. But when I edit this, the chat will go, so they can't read the chat. That's the frustrating thing. So I'll have to cut the timer off the beginning at least. You had dark brown, almost black hair. And that sort of hair has all different shades in it, doesn't it? Yeah. God, you're part of the MK Ultra experiments as well. God. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. In the class photos, you're the one with the palest face and the darkest hair, yeah. Just to make you look even paler, yeah. Nature gave you the darkest hair possible. So yeah, I've always just had like this sort of colour hair. This is my natural hair colour, really. Michael's a body double for ET, yeah. Mm-hmm. You had blonde hair and blood until you were 3, though, yeah. I never had blonde hair, I always had dark hair. I had blue eyes when I was born, apparently. What time is it? Well, it is 2:30 here. So I should really finish this, shouldn't I? We go for 2.5 hours. Thanks for coming, everyone, though. And like I say, well, people who haven't seen it can, because at the beginning I get to the point quickly about what I was saying. Basically, yeah. Just on weeks when I don't stream, it helps if you watch my old videos. And it helps if you watch the ones that get less views as well, like the more popular ones, obviously. Because ironically, the videos that already have thousands of views continue to get views because people interact with them. And the ones that didn't get a lot of views straight away just go and fucking die and no one watches them, you know what I mean? So it would help if people go and watch the older videos, and I've made playlists of them. So yeah, that's one way everyone can help. And people who want to fucking, if anyone can and wants to, people can help me. If you can use Canva, people can help me make slides and help me plan shit, you know. And I will do a subreddit, yeah, because then we can have somewhere to plan stuff. For the people that aren't on Facebook, it'll be good to have somewhere to talk to Capone, because you've been my moderator for ages, haven't you? I've never been able to coordinate anything with you before the streams. Other than by emailing you, and I never have I? So. Just annoying. And Reddit is another good place to go, especially if you're into research and that. It's better than Facebook, because Facebook groups are confusing and things get lost easily, you know. I mean, the same thing happens on Reddit, but like my subreddit wouldn't be that fucking busy, let's face it, would it? There wouldn't be a lot of people on it. And it works more like an old school forum than Facebook does it, so it's better in that respect, you know. And you can do these things called flares, which is sort of like a tag, aren't they, to fucking show what general, subjects the post is under, to make things easier to find. So like I would have flares for like the Manson case. So if it's a Manson thing, then you put the Manson case flare on it. Or if it was a CIA related thing, then there would be a CIA flare that you could use. That's how Reddit works, isn't it, basically? And just the way it's done, it is more like an old school forum thing. You click on the post and then you see all the comments. So it's like you're opening a thread like you used to in the old forums, Yeah. Yeah, that's one. Like I say, the CIA one. CIA flare. Because we're going to be talking about the CIA, or not? Because no one else fucking is. That's the thing. This is what I've been looking for. I've been trying to find communities of people that are interested in talking about this sort of shit. Because I know there are people that are. I just don't know where they've all gone. Everyone got driven off YouTube. That used to talk about all this kind of crap. But that was because they got too extreme and stupid with the conspiracy theories they were talking about. If you just talk about what they actually did, that's fucking crazy enough. And they can't fucking take you off YouTube for talking about history, can they? You know what I mean? So, we could. And just the stuff that really happened is fucking crazy enough to sit and natter about, isn't it, of an evening? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I never call, never write. You just moderate my chat and that's it. Like I say, I need more people to help me promote the shows and stuff like that as well, like share the shows. When the show's live, people can share the links in groups and stuff like that, that sort of thing. And if we had a group where we could all coordinate better, then I could arrange for people to do that, couldn't I? There is the Facebook group, and there's a couple, 160 odd people in the Facebook group now, aren't there? Frank Zappa said he would have let you in the band, but you were MK Ultra'd for Beatlemania. It's a strange statement. I think you need help, Stephen. Fucking hell. Go and take your medication. It's worrying. It really is. Can't put that on the screen. I've got it, don't I? For other people on playback will never know. The little Mikey said. Which is a South Park reference. Yeah. Helen Keller. You must know who Helen Keller is, Mark Oliver. Come on. And there's an episode of South Park where the kids have to do a musical about Helen Keller, isn't there? Sure. What, were you in the same institution as Wildman Fisher? That I could believe, maybe back in the day, because he was definitely a mental patient, wasn't he? I can believe you knew Wildman Fisher. Yeah. Not that means being sensitive. Come on, you go and saying things like this in the chat rooms of places. People are going to be horrible to you, aren't they? I don't want to see people start fucking. Because I think you just say you believe the shit, don't you? That's the thing. You think this all really happened, don't you? Ah, right. You weren't talking about Helen Keller. You were talking about someone else. Yeah. Yeah, we all know who Helen Keller is. Oh, well, Lisa, so if I see people are just joining, I was just about to end it because it's getting late. I've got to try and wake up early tomorrow. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm not normally streaming on a Wednesday night, am I? What I've been saying over the course of the stream, though, basically is that I need to change. I need to stream more. But in order to stream more, then the streams have got to become less structured because I can't have a presentation ready for every fucking stream. But my channel would basically do better if I streamed at least twice a week instead of just once a week. So we're trying to sort it out so maybe I get some help to fucking make slides and that so we can do better streams. But there will be more streams that are just casual, basically, because people do seem to like these casual streams where I just sit here talking. And people even watch them on playback, you know what I mean? I can't believe that people find it entertaining, but people do just want to sit and watch these on playback. Yeah, that's Wellbound Fisher. And stories about him as well. He's the one who's supposed to have turned up at Frank Zappa's house and threatened to kill his children and that, isn't he? Apparently, according to Frank Zappa. Yeah. It was, yeah, Frank Zappa did record Wellbound Fisher. I know he did, yeah. But no one's going to believe you, so just fucking don't do it to yourself. You just look fucking crazy. No one's going to believe you, are they? Don't worry about it. This is why you get deleted in other people's chats, isn't it? You just sound crazy. And you said stuff as well. You said I think it was a comment on one of my videos. You said Cass Elliott's dad made hundreds of movies. Cass Elliott's dad was nothing to do with Hollywood. He was a delicatessen owner. They were nothing to do with Hollywood. She was a fucking delicatessen owner's daughter. Right, fucking he had nothing to do with Hollywood. So you've got your facts wrong in a lot of things. This is why I doubt some of the things you're saying, because you say things like that. Why everyone doubts some of the things you're saying. Yeah, but he was nothing to do with Hollywood. He was a fucking delicatessen owner. That was what her family did. They weren't anything to do with the entertainment industry whatsoever. Yeah, that's it. The deli owners. That's it. That's what Mama Cass's family were. Her dad was nothing to do with Hollywood at all. Yeah, anyway, like I say, it's fucking 2:45, so I better finish this. But thanks for coming, everyone. Just wanted to carry on for a minute because someone had just arrived. People have already just arrived. And I'm ending it now. Yeah, I've got 23 people here. This is the thing. This is the size of the crowd I draw every week. I need to try and increase the size of the crowd somehow. So I've got to promote a better community, haven't I? Hopefully I can get people to engage with a fucking subreddit. That's it. Or even if it's just a few of us, it'll be a laugh anyway. And Reddit is fun, if you know how to use Reddit. Yeah, that's it. It's like... It's late and I've got to get up early tomorrow. Because I've got to get up even earlier the next morning. So I've got to try and reset my sleeping pattern a bit. So I sleep earlier tomorrow night, if you get what I mean. Yes. Anyway, thanks for coming, everyone, and show up on Sunday because that should be that. Well, that is a good one. The Rolling Stones one. Sort of going to gradually segue into how much the Rolling Stones have lied, and how many lies there are that are believed about the Rolling Stones. That sort of shit. So yeah, tune in. It'll be good. Oh god, someone else has just arrived. Look, I'm just wrapping it up. Hello. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've got to finish. Good night, everyone. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I start this when I do start the subreddit, I'll fucking be sharing the link, streams, and the mods can share it in the chat and all that sort of thing. You know. So yeah, you'll be able to find the subreddit easily if you join Reddit. Yeah. And like I say, you won't have to worry about building up karma and all that shit if you're just going to post in my subreddit. But once you're on Reddit, it is actually quite interesting, and you can find whatever interest you're interested in and have a feed of it all day. And it's interesting if you like reading about old historic shit and that, you know. Okay, and you have a question. That's it. Just as I was fucking wrapping up. Yeah. Now, seriously, I've got to go. It's 2:45. Like I say, thank you for coming, for staying for nearly 3 hours, everyone. And so basically, in the future, I'm going to try and stream more regularly, but the streams might be less structured. But we'll see what happens. Because if I can get help to put streams together, then fucking I can do more streams that are fancy as well, and that'll be better, won't it? Yeah. No, Lino was by the couch. He was on the floor by the couch. Was where he was. Or what do you mean when they came in? When they came in, Fikowski was lying on the couch, and he was sat. But Lino would have been sat on the sofa. But that wasn't what you were saying. You were talking about where the bodies were found. Sharon was lying right next to the couch, weren't she? And Lino was right next to the couch. So yeah. But I don't think that there was any pattern there. There was no anything to do with couches. There was no couch conspiracy. God. There was nothing to do with the couches. Or the wigs. The wigs have got to mean something. There's got to be something, hasn't there? But yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, we'll go end it now. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Yes. Good night, everyone. I'll end it now while I can.